Hey, and we're live.
Hey, we're live.
Raelyn Nelson of the Raelyn Nelson Band and Music is Funny podcast. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Bob's your uncle.
Cheers, Bob's your uncle. Did we use it right? Who knows?
No, you said it wasn't used for cheers, so I just wanted to maybe get you to do a spit take or something.
Oh yeah, he did say it wasn't. I think we should just use it as for cheers though, because number one, it's funny, and I need something to say other than "Did we cheers yet?" Bob's your uncle.
By the way, did you ever sorry, I want to make sure I share this. Did you ever find out technically how long a taint is? I guess that was a real issue of contention.
I can't believe he got so upset. He's called me a lesbian. What did he say? I didn't know. I mean, I don't look at taints. Do you look at taints?
Man, I can't look at my own, so the only one I've seen is my 5-month-old daughter's in a while, I guess.
Okay, this is getting weird. How long is your daughter's taint, Dillon?
Listen, don't make this a Ghislaine Maxwell is on trial this week, not me.
no, no, it's kind of funny that one of the first topics is about your daughter's vagina.
Yeah, we're not even 2
The
minutes
space
in.
between her vagina and asshole.
Not even 2 minutes in. Here we are.
It's got to be smaller than ours, right? Because she's a little bitty baby.
You'd be surprised. When she was born, she was a lot smaller than she is now. When I hold her, I feel like I'm holding a full human.
How much did she weigh when she was born?
7'12".
Oh, that's a pretty good sized baby.
Yeah. Not like, you don't hear it and you're like, oh my God, but
No,
like
yeah.
you said, yeah, that's a proper reaction.
My twins were 2 pounds 14 ounces, 3 pounds 8 ounces. So
Whoa.
they were like fitting in our hands, the palm of. I mean, they were a little bit bigger than my palm, but their dad's hand, they could fit in his hand. They were so little and so sickly looking, those little guys, but they made it through. They were in the NICU for a month, and then my daughter was 6 pounds 8 ounces, and she was in the NICU for 3 weeks. So yeah, okay. It was a rough time.
Well, I have a lot of questions lined up, but I feel like we can't just move on past that. So first, let me just say, hey, in the comments, we figured out that works. My co-host on the Just Be a Dad podcast, TJ Burns, aka Whiskey is in the house. What's up, man?
Tej. I call you Tej.
You can call him whatever you want. He is super excited for this podcast, let me tell you. He is jealous. He's green with envy.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you can see the comments. You know it's going to be a good show when taints are well. Yeah. Is the T in TJ stand for taint?
Oh, probably. It stands for a lot of things, and taint is sure one of them.
I mean, now that you brought that whole thing back up, I really do want to measure my taint to see, just in case we're ever asked this, so that I know for sure. And I can do a pretty mean forward fold. I mean, I can get down there. I just don't really like looking at stuff,
Well, that's what I was going to say. Maybe does yoga shrink your taint, do you think?
We should spread that rumor, right?
So what's the story? What's the story with your kids? I mean, how do they survive such long odds?
Well, my boys were twins, so my cervix was incompetent, is what they said. So I had to be on bed rest for 3 weeks before they were even born. And they were born at 32 weeks, and a full pregnancy is 40, right? So they were born 8 weeks early and had to stay in there for a little bit to finish cooking. They were in the little incubators, Yeah. I couldn't hold them for a while. It was really sad. All I could do was just pump breast milk and go see them and just pray that they would get. It was a really long month. But when they came home, they were still not even supposed to be born yet, So I feel like I got a little bit of extra baby time with them.
Okay.
And then my daughter, she was just born 3 weeks early, and same kind of thing. She had to just cook a little bit longer. I guess my cervix just sucks. I need a t-shirt that says my cervix is incompetent.
You shouldn't get your cervix on Black Friday sale, maybe.
Yeah, at your cervix. Yeah. Yeah, cervixes and taints. That's where we are right now. How's your baby mama's cervix? Did she hold yours in for the full 40 weeks?
This is not a white power sign. This is A-okay. Taint's
Uh,
doing good.
I think we
No.
should. I think we should make up a rumor that fist bumping is racist now. So when people go to fist bump you, you're like, no, we can't do that now. It's racist. It's clearly a white power thing. Obviously you're punching. So we'll say bows are the okay thing.
No,
And
I
see if it
don't.
spreads. I think we should all do it. All the listeners start spreading the the rumor that fist bumping can't do it anymore, just to see if it works. Because people are so stupid that they think this is a white power sign, and I just think we should make up more.
White power. Don't clip that. No, elbow bumping's too dorky. I've seen people in Congress elbow bump.
See, it's definitely not white power if it's dorky and geeky looking. Yeah, we have to do stupid, and you have to do both of them to look extra dumb.
Those are the dorks, the ones who feel like they don't belong. That's why they join those gangs,
Yeah. Yeah.
But and going back to your boys, I feel like, man, because I remember when my wife was pumping, it's kind of a debilitating process. Like you're just sitting there, you feel like a farm animal. So on top of that, your boys are in an incubator. You can't even have them right there with you. So I mean, that must have been pretty traumatic.
Yeah, it was really sad. They're 14 now, so I remember waking up in the middle of the night because you have to pump every 3 hours. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and watching MTV videos. So it would be like Umbrella by Rihanna that was playing at the time. And then I remember watching Tyra Banks in the middle of the night. Remember the Tyra Banks show? I remember watching that at 3 a.m. pumping, it's just this sound that you're constantly hearing. But all that, it's such a long thing, and then you end up with this much milk, and it's just liquid gold, and you have to freeze it. It's a whole thing.
It takes so much of your nipple.
Oh my God, yeah, talk about the taint. You wouldn't believe how much of your nipple goes, but it's this much of so it's more of your boob and your nipple that's in there. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. Jeez. And I wonder, is she still breastfeeding?
No.
No.
Is 5 months would that be weird?
Well, I nursed my boys for about 7 months, and then I also supplemented with formula because there were 2 of them, and we just wanted to make sure they were growing. And my daughter at 15 months.
Yeah. Is that weird?
Maybe. She was like a person. I remember her laying on the floor in this long body, and I'm laying on the floor beside her, and my boobs in her mouth. I'm like, this might be time to just be done, and it was just down to 1 or 2 times a day at that point. But they're so big at 15 months. It looks like you're nursing a human being. Well, you are.
Now,
but
the student in me who took a single psychology 101 class, my gears are grinding, and I'm thinking, she was so close to her mother. She had an issue with not wanting to leave her mother, and now her daughter breastfed for so long. Maybe there's a connection there.
Thank you for connecting that. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
my mom actually nursed me for 15 months.
Oh, see?
There's that, yeah.
Wow, and you weren't going to reveal that. You told me all that information. And the root cause, as Kamala Harris would like to say, the root cause is right there.
And I think I would have done longer with my boys if it would have worked. Just the supply doesn't meet the demand at some point when there's 2 and you're supplementing formula. It just didn't quite go it, but I would have kept going. The cool thing about breastfeeding is it gets you back down to skinny size because it's taking all the calories. They're just little piranhas eating all the calories. So
are you saying you?
What are we kidding? I'd still be doing it now when they're 14 if I could, and it wasn't too weird. No, I wouldn't. I'm just kidding. That is weird.
If I tell you something about your hat, you have to promise not to be self-conscious about it.
What's going on with it?
It looks, I really enjoy it. It looks like one of those Ridge's potato chips.
It does look like a potato chip hat.
Yeah. I want to dip it in hell of a good sauce.
It does. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. Should I change the hat?
No. I told
There's
you.
More. I got more hats. I'm a woman of many hats here.
I know. I've seen. You have a very Janis Joplin style about you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hopefully I don't die from heroin.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, you've passed 27, so.
No, I still identify as a 27-year-old, so.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, the clock is ticking. December is
I
upon
could
us.
still die. Don't worry, folks. Wait for it. I could still die.
So I wanted to start off. I even made a banner for it so we could break the ice with some pop culture questions.
Okay, that's a cute little banner. I like it.
You like that?
Oh no!
I
The
bet
only
Josh
pop
Wolf didn't
culture I
have a banner
know.
like that. Jesus. Going through puberty. Sorry.
Got a little semen in my throat. Pop culture. That's Mark
little.
Norman's joke. That's Mark Norman's joke. I can't. I just think it's so funny. Anytime anybody coughs or he coughs, he's like, "Oh, semen, semen."
Comedy.
Comedy. Pop culture. The only thing I know about pop culture is what I hear from comedy podcasts. So I don't know how good I'm going to be at this, but I'm willing to go for it.
Okay. Well, here we go. Well, swing away. First one. With the recent.
Was that a Signs quote that you just did, like a Mel Gibson movie?
It could be.
Swing away.
Swing away. Who hasn't said swing away?
Is that from that movie though? That's what I remember it from.
Signs is one of those famous movies that I haven't seen. I know all about the hats and the crop circles and all that, but I haven't.
Sorry, we're gonna have to end this podcast now, and you need to go watch Signs.
There has to be worse than Signs. Come on.
I'm just kidding. Okay,
Once you find out that I haven't watched Con Air, oh, it's over.
I don't know that one. I haven't watched that one.
Okay, well, perfect.
We're both losers. Look at that.
With the newest release of this Tiger King season, I'm sure you've been following that.
Well, I've heard that this is happening. Yes.
What are your thoughts? Do you have an opinion on whether or not Carol Baskin killed her husband?
I think she probably did, right? I mean, they're definitely. I mean, I haven't been watching the second season. I only watched the first one, but I know that
blind guess tells you yes, right?
Well, the second one, I heard on a podcast that she said she was pissed and suing them because all of the stuff that's in the second season was filmed before. She did not film any of this after. So
yeah.
So if that's true, and she's saying it's true, then I would go with what was going on in the first season. I mean, it was still the same time, right? What's happened in the second season that makes you think that she did? Do you think she killed it?
At this point, I don't. I haven't finished the second season, but apparently this guy was hanging around some shady characters in like Puerto Rico or Colombia, wherever he was going. He took like his private plane and he would like stuff big cats in the back with him and like go to these islands and things. So yeah, there it goes. So I think that I think according to, because like this one dude who was his driver when he would go down there, they interviewed him.
Yeah.
He basically was like, yeah, Don used to like play on the wrong side of the tracks kind of thing. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So now.
Maybe he died from one of those cats. Those big ass cats killed him and they tried to cover it up or something.
Yeah. Plane crash. He took his own private plane, so you never know.
Oh.
I guess once I finish the season, we'll have to do an update.
Okay. Yeah. I won't watch it and you can just tell me all about it.
Oh, good. Save you some time. My next question. What % confident were you that Dog the Bounty Hunter was going to find Brian Laundrie?
Okay. I know who Dog the Bounty. I don't know who Brian Laundrie is. Tell me who that is.
He's the famous Instagrammer who killed that girl, Gabby Petito, who everyone was looking for.
Oh my God. I should be knowing who this is.
You don't know anything about this case?
So, I do. I know about Gabby Petito. Tell me what Dog the Bounty Hunter. Now, explain this to me now. Aren't I a great guest that you have to explain everything?
No, actually, you are. So, all of a sudden, Dog the Bounty Hunter comes out of left field in some pathetic attempt to revive his career, IMO. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to find Brian Laundrie," because nobody could find Brian Laundrie after they found Gabby Petito's body. Turns out he was like rotting in some national park the whole time because he killed himself.
Oh my God.
And there was this interesting thing too, to where for a minute people thought that he was hiding in his mom's garden bed because there was like a weird photo of her going in her garden and it was like doctored to look like she was handing a hand something in her garden bed. You know how people get with their internet
Yeah.
detectives. And I felt bad because like people, I guess, were like lining the streets of their neighborhood just to get glimpses of Brian Laundrie's parents, you know. So it's like neighbors.
Oh.
Well, I guess in the end, the neighbors made out because they were like renting out their yards for parking space.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like one of those. Yeah.
But so he killed himself, and when did they find him?
Within the past few months, it was after a while of looking for him, though. You know, dog couldn't find him. The FBI couldn't find him. And then all of a sudden, his parents are on the trail for like half an hour, and they all of a sudden they find the remains. You know, it was interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah,
And how about being his parents? You
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
you've killed this girl, and
How
oh
about
my
being her
God.
parents? You have all these people who are quote unquote concerned for your daughter, and in the end, it's just really an internet trend that they're going to move on past.
Yeah, nobody will remember it. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't even remember it. I'm
Actually,
just as
we
guilty.
we did have this discussion on the my other famous podcast that I'm on. But okay, let's say one of your sons was in Brian Laundrie's situation, and it was like an
Sweet.
accident. It was like let's say it was an accident. Like let's
Okay.
say they got into a fight. She hits him. He pushes her. She trips over a rock type of thing and dies. Like, do you feel like you could turn him in, or is that something you would want like
Okay,
him?
first of all, my boys don't go to violence. Okay? Like seriously, they just don't. But okay, so let me pretend like it's somebody else's kid that's mine. I don't know. How do you do that?
That's my cousin. My cousin says I need one of those hats with a white dipped brim. No way,
With
lady.
like ranch dip, looked like it's dipped in ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Your boy killed someone. Where are we at? Even though, of course, they non-violently kill someone. Of
if it's
course.
an accident,
Yeah.
if it was truly an accident, then why not turn it in?
Okay. You feel
That's
like
my question.
you feel like the law is gonna be on his side.
Ugh, this is tough. This is tough. You're right, because maybe the law wouldn't be on this side.
Yeah. That's Kim Kardashian's whole mission in life is freeing wrongly convicted people. You know. So let's not let her
God
down.
bless her. Yeah. So then I would be calling Kim and be like, Kim,
Okay. Moving on from Brian Laundrie.
I'm really good at pop culture.
A tree falls in the forest, but no one is around to hear it. Is Omicron even real?
Oh, Omicron, Shamaramacron. We've already talked about this, but it is weird you said that because we had a big storm here last night, and
Yep.
I did have a tree fall down in my woods, like right outside my house,
Mm-hmm.
and I slept right through it. So
Oh
if
wow.
a tree falls in the woods and somebody's there but asleep and doesn't hear it, did it happen?
And really missed out on the insurance claim.
And are they going to get Omicron?
Okay. Next one. Almost the last one. We got two more. Hollywood calls you up asking for advice on a Christmas Story remake. You've seen A Christmas Story?
Yes.
They want
150
to,
million times, right? Like everybody else.
if you watch TBS, of course.
Yes.
They want the green light on casting Kyle Rittenhouse as Ralphie. What do you say?
No, no, no. He doesn't get to do that.
He's not going to shoot anyone's eye out. He's very careful.
No, no, he doesn't get to do anything. Cool.
All right. All right. He'll be good on Tucker from time to time.
Yeah, he's already gotten his 15 minutes.
Yeah, he did.
He's got followers, and so it's fine. He'll be able to start a podcast and sell ads. So,
Oh my God, the Rittenhouse podcast. You're so right.
yeah, it's happening. You know it is.
The Rittenhouse Files.
Yep, yep.
All right, last question. How would you best describe Taylor Swift? And disclosure, we love Taylor Swift. Okay,
I love Taylor.
one of these two. Is she the white Whitney Houston or the TikTok Dolly Parton?
It has to be one of those.
It has to be.
Okay, TikTok Dolly Parton then, because I would not call her White Whitney.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love Taylor. I'm Swiftie, of course.
Oh yeah, for sure. Initially, I had Miley in there, and I changed it to Taylor. So, what would you change your opinion if it was Miley?
No, I mean, Miley's got a great voice. Her voice, and I think it's great. Well, just besides the vocal range is cool. It's so she's got this husky thing about it. So, yeah, I don't. I still wouldn't call her the. Who would you call the White Whitney Houston? Maybe like Adele. Because see,
Really? Okay.
you need to have like vocals that are. Or you know what? You know who the White Whitney Houston is? A Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point.
That's who the White Whitney Houston is.
That's a damn good point.
And they both did the song.
So, you know what? Too with Miley, I really enjoyed her version of Jolene.
Yes.
That was
Her
nice.
voice is great. She's got
Yeah.
an awesome, because it's definitely just hers. You know, she's not trying to be anyone else. It's her sound.
Being a child star just doesn't do anyone any favors.
I know.
Yeah.
But I've always loved Miley. She's a little bit younger than me, so the whole Hannah Montana thing was. I mean, I'm just kidding. I identify as 27, so we're actually right around the same.
Oh yeah,
age.
we loved Hannah Montana. We loved the sweet
Hannah
life of
Montana.
Zach and Cody.
Yep,
All that
yep.
stuff.
That's right.
All right.
Love Zach.
So the next one up, another little icebreaker we have here. This or that.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you an option.
That.
You have to choose. This is like a gun to your head scenario.
Okay.
My first one I actually found out already through listening to your podcast with the beard and with dimples in the beard.
Okay.
Your favorite beer is not only craft beer but specifically Yazoo Gerst.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
I love Yazoo Gerst.
If you could, and I know it's a real hassle sending alcohol. If you could be a better buddy than my co-host, because he's been supposed to be sending me Stone Cold Steve Austin beer for a long time now and hasn't. You could find a way to get me Yazoo Gerst. That would be amazing.
Have you ever had it?
You said isn't it like a local Nashville beer or no?
Yeah, it is local Nashville beer.
Never had it.
You haven't had it.
No.
Where are you from?
I'm from upstate New York initially, but I live in Augusta, Georgia right now.
Oh, we're not too far from Nashville.
True. Yeah. Tennessee, we've definitely, for my mother-in-law's birthday, that's the mission.
I wonder if you can mail people Gerst. I'll see if I can do it.
Yeah, please add it to the list of many things that are much more important.
But everyone should try Gerst. It's delicious. And then, of course, I drink the all-day IPA most of the time because it's cheaper to drink them. They come in a 15-pack, and it works out to be about like $1.60 a beer.
If you like Dogfish Head and if you like mango, they make a beer called Mango Smoothie with a V, and it's freaking amazing.
I like both those things.
So amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Seek that out for sure.
All right. Mango
Smoothie.
Got it.
Yeah. So the next one is, what is your preferred liquor?
Whiskey.
Okay. That's not just because of Jack Johnson?
Jamie Johnson? No. No, yeah, I drink whiskey. I'll go for an old-fashioned is what I will. So I did my first 5 minutes on Saturday night in Nashville. Yes. And it's at this place called Wine Down. So they only had wine and liquor, no beer. And I'm usually strictly a beer girl. But if I can't drink beer, I always have some whiskey at the house, and or I ordered an old fashioned, and yeah, I had 2 of those this weekend, and they were delicious.
Okay.
I like tequila too, but tequila, man, it just fucks you up, you know? Like it's like whiskey is sippable, and tequila is just drinking, you know? Like I just want to keep sucking down the margarita, so I just get fucked up. Have you tried Soundboard IPA? Nope. Or Stone Cold IPA.
Yeah, none of us have tried Stone Cold IPA because you don't know how to frickin' send it, dude. That's a rhetorical question.
Where is he from?
He's from Dallas.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Is that where he gets the Stone Cold IPA? Is this Stone Cold Steve Austin IPA, or is this just the name Stone Cold?
Yeah, no, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin's. It's called like, Skullcracker or some shit like that. Like, I don't know.
It's called 316. Do you remember those shirts?
Yeah.
What what's
Oh,
the
don't get me started.
percentage? What's the percentage of them on there? Because I like low session IPA. Not that I won't. I'll drink a full session IPA, but I like the low ones because then you can drink like 20.
Yeah, Tej, hit us with the percentage when you can.
Yeah,
And
you
don't
just
get me started on Stone Cold Steve Austin fanhood. Okay, I had all the T-shirts.
you
I
did?
watched Raw every week. I had a 6-set VHS set that was called the Six Pack of Attitude, and it was like behind the scenes of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What was he a wrestler? Wrestling? Is that what he did?
Yes.
Okay, well that shit isn't real. You know that, right?
Wow. Thanks for dropping that bomb on me.
I want
Hold
to.
up. Hold up. Everyone, wait a minute.
It's like adults believing in Santa. It's
Well,
not
funny you
real.
mention that. I feel like I'm 4. I feel like I'm 4-year-old Raelyn, and my mom's telling me Santa's not real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's so weird pulling facts like that. Like I said, I've listened to so many freaking
You
podcasts.
know me so well.
I do. Oh man, it's great. Okay, try not to do that anymore.
That's good. I
So
like it.
moving on from the liquor, what's your preferred candy?
I don't eat candy.
No candy. Okay.
Okay, like I would do chocolate. I guess chocolate is candy, right? Kind of. I would do,
I think that qualifies.
yeah, but I mean, I would do like a chocolate. Yeah, anything chocolate, I guess. Chocolate. If
Oh,
I'm
we
gonna
have
eat
a
candy, I'm
percentage.
going chocolate.
Okay.
Damn. Yeah, you're getting fucked up if you drink 2 of those.
That's high to you.
6.7? Yeah, a normal beer is 5.3.
Okay. I thought
6.7
you were
is
a craft beer girl. That's all I'm saying.
I am a craft beer girl, but I told you I like the session. Well, I mean, I can drink those. It's just after 2 of them, you have to drink water because you're done.
Yeah, that's fair. And you get very burpy. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
but they are delicious. Are you a? I have this theory. Are you a black coffee guy?
Close. Pretty close.
What does that mean?
Well, I don't do sugar and just like a pinch of cream, like a salt baked cream.
Okay, that's not black, but if it's close
Yeah.
to it, because I do black coffee, and I think people who like black coffee like IPAs because it has a strong flavor in there. I have a theory. I'm just saying.
Well, let me connect the dots here. Do you also like hot things?
Spicy things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yes, I do.
Full circle.
But then it hurts your asshole. My asshole doesn't like it.
Don't
It
get me
just
started.
it's good right here and then here, but then I don't do yeah, then the next morning with the asshole, then you're just like you really want it to come out of your body, but then you know it hurts and it's stinging the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah. If I could tell 20s me anything, it would be, hey, 30s me is going to be really feeling that
Yeah.
Frank
It
soup you're about to eat.
it does happen like late 20s, early 30s is when it starts just you can't do the spicy anymore. Coffee is over. Okay, Monster. I've never had a Monster. I'm a Red Bull girl. I like bull semen in my energy drinks.
Okay.
Comedy.
I love they I think they call that what, stripper piss, the Red Bull and vodka.
Eh,
That just ruined it for you.
yeah. But it does the trick. Energy drinks do the trick, but I still like coffee first thing in the morning.
For sure. How about preferred fast food?
I like Panera. Is that fast food?
No.
Okay.
Is there a drive-through at Panera?
Give me, yeah, there is one in
All right.
Hendersonville, Tennessee. So it
I,
counts.
if that, yeah, I guess if that falls, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I like Subway. Does that count?
I don't think they like working fast, but
That's true. That shredded lettuce though. Oh my god, that shredded lettuce. I love shredded
no,
lettuce.
no nutritional value in that lettuce. You got to go with spinach.
I put spinach on. I do a veggie, so I do. It's just basically all the vegetables that are there, all the green. My mouth is watering. And then you do that onion teriyaki sauce on top of it. Oh, it's so good. On the
I think, yeah. I think that's
or
exactly what my wife gets, and I hate it every time.
it's so good. My mouth really is watering. Italian herbs and cheese, bread,
Mm-hmm.
and provolone. Oh my
Yep.
god. Yeah, that's the jam. What's your favorite fast food? Don't say McDonald's.
No. So, man, that is a good one. Have you ever been to Wife Saver?
No.
That might be around here. So I like Wife Saver. Chick-fil-A is badass.
Yeah, I'm so sick of Chick-fil-A. My kids, that's their, main one that they go
Yeah.
to. So I haven't liked Chick-fil-A in a long time because it's too much.
I hear you on that one. I'm such a broke ass that I know when the window is at Arby's when you get a dollar slider, so I always try to get those.
Yeah. Or when I was pregnant, I would go eat Arby's roast beef sandwiches. They would sell them 5 for $10 or 5 for 5 or something like that. And I would go get them. I would eat every single one of them when I was pregnant. Red Bull for the win. Yes.
Loves the Red Bull. Even
Cousins,
though,
cousins on
okay,
my
he
side.
says that, but he's one of those, like, he's not Asian, but he gets like the Asian hives. You know what I mean?
Asian
Like
hives.
he doesn't like process it very well.
Process what?
The alcohol.
Oh.
You know how they have that thing?
No. Are you trying to get me canceled?
We're not gonna get canceled again. No. I swear, this is a real thing. There's like I think this was even in the New York Times recently that there's like a gene missing that they don't process a certain chemical.
Asians?
It's more prevalent in like the Oriental culture, yeah.
That's interesting. People said that about Native Americans too. That
Is that what they said? Or do they like to just make up that they like to get drunk all the time?
they hate us. Yeah, yeah, and also I think that I don't know. Like fire water, remember that expression? I think they're more into like smoking tobacco and stuff, and weed, that sort of
So you
thing.
feel like the alcohol is more of a stereotype with the natives?
I don't know, maybe. All I know is I'd say I'm such a badass, but I have to drink water and stuff in order to drink, I can't, even though I'm like, I drink 8 beers a day sometimes, that's a long time, it's a very long time and it's a low session IPA and there's a lot of water in between there because you just can't function if you have too much alcohol.
Oh, yeah, for
But
sure.
it is fun. I like to celebrate life and alcohol is a fun way to do that.
Couldn't agree more. You've got a song about that, I think.
Yeah.
So what do you think? We're coming up on the holiday season. What's the best Christmas movie?
Oh, there's two. I loved Christmas Vacation when I was a kid.
Yep.
So that one would have to be at the top of my list. And I like It's a Wonderful Life. And the other day, the day before yesterday, my daughter and I watched Little Women, the one that came out in the 90s with Winona Ryder and Susan Sarandon and Christian Bale. We watched that one. And then Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds and Amy Smart. Do you remember that movie?
I sure do. And he had the fat suit on.
Yes, because he was fat in high school and he comes back and he's super hot and I forget her name. Anna Faris. Anna Faris is in it. Her character is so funny. But anyway, so that was a pretty good Christmas movie.
Do you think they could do that movie today, or would that be fat shaming?
Oh God, really?
Just asking.
No.
What's the so obviously, full disclosure, you are separated, divorced.
Full
At the
disclosure.
time, what was the worst TV show that he watched when you guys were together?
Football.
Oh, my wife's gonna love that. Okay, all right, that's fair enough.
I'm not a football girl. Yeah.
Now getting into the actual this or that part of it. Cats or dogs?
Oh, that's hard. I have a lot of cats. I guess I'm gonna go with cats. But it would be sad if I didn't have a dog around.
Yes, Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie. And so you're going cats. Okay, that's interesting.
I have a lot of cats, but yeah, I don't know. I would definitely want a dog around. I want dogs around. Don't you feel safer with dogs around too?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they just feel like. Yeah, I've had really, man, and they're like babysitters when the kids are little too, because the kids will just play with the dog for a while, and you can just have a minute. You can go to the bathroom, Dogs are great.
Oh, dogs are. I mean,
I think I have to say
dogs. we switched now. Okay. Didn't even have to talk you into it. How
You have a
about
dog because it's behind you on the couch, or is that a cat? Oh, it's a
this?
cat.
Yeah,
Kitty. Hey, will you put the
but
other here?
actually, if I can do this without breaking anything, check this out. Totally have a dog. Living his best life.
Oh, buddy.
So, yep, that's Bam Bam.
Yeah, I think people who don't have pets, I understand why if they're traveling a lot or something, but it's just strange to not have animals around, right?
Oh, totally. I mean, once you have them. And my thing always was like, because I put it off for the longest time when we got together, because I didn't want to feel the heartbreak of losing them. But now I'm, full 2 feet in. So here we go.
Yeah, I lost my 17-year-old cat. She'd been with me since before I was married and anything. Just lost her a month and a half ago, and it was really, really hard.
No.
I had to she was like dead in the bed beside me for 2 whole episodes of murder in the building, and I just let her lay there.
Yeah.
Just let the dead cat lay in my bed beside me while I watched 2 more episodes. But I was like, okay, you really have to get up and like deal with this. You can't just let her lay. The room is smelling like death. Favorite dog breed?
Oh yeah, good transition from talking about your tragic loss. You didn't have to read that.
Well, I have a German Shepherd now, and I gotta say they are so smart. Never had one before, and never had. Thanks, baby. Look, she brought me another beer. Love you. Thank you.
And I can only hope mine's just like that.
She will. She will. But yeah, we rescued. It took me a couple years after my first dog, or no, but our first dog as a family, Blitzen, she passed. And it took me a couple years to be okay. Like you said, when you lose them, it's hard to replace it. So I did go a couple years without a dog. But Todd Snyder's dog, Cowboy Jim, when Todd would go on the road, Cowboy Jim would stay with me. So during that time, he kind of helped me out, and then he died. And that was rough too, because he really liked me, and I felt like a really close bond with him. And then we rescued Vic, and he was already a grown German Shepherd, and he's the smartest dog I've ever been around. And the other 2 I had were super smart, but he's almost like a person smart. So I would have to say right now my favorite dog breed is Vic, German Shepherd.
Yeah, they're way too smart. I've seen Have you seen I've seen ones that are pure black and pure white. Have you seen those?
I haven't seen pure white. No, but Vic is one of the woolly ones, so he doesn't have the skinny hair. He's fluffy all over.
Yeah.
Sheds everywhere, but he's super. He almost looks like a lassie, like a collie, and I mean, he clearly looks like a German Shepherd, but he has that fur about him, like the collie does.
Yeah, TJ loves to show off his dogs. He has an Australian Shepherd, which I didn't know until I met him that they're also called blue heelers. So now I hear about blue heelers all the time.
I had a blue heeler growing up, and his name was Champion. Yeah, they like to herd anything. Anything.
Well, that's cool.
Cars, yeah, they will herd anything.
And Joe says that plants are the new pets, so that's a good way to go.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm an okay plant mom. Like I have to do the succulents so that make sure they stay alive.
I hear you, and they look so cool. Some of those cactuses, so cool. This one is famous in our little podcast group that we all have. Cake or pie?
Cake.
Cake. Okay. I like it.
Chocolate.
What flavor?
Chocolate cake.
Okay. Are we talking like the Matilda style, like fudge on the outside, fudge in the middle, and that's chocolate cake?
Yeah, you make 3 cakes and you layer chocolate. It's like you cover each one with chocolate. I've never done this, but this is what I picture.
Yeah. I love it. How about
Publix has really good chocolate anything. Do y'all have Publix where you are?
Yeah, they have really good the desserts. Yeah, don't go in there after having a few, you know what, because you'll buy everything.
Yep. I can't go in there hungry. If I go in there hungry, I'll just go over to their thing and eat something so that I don't buy everything in the bake. And I'm not even a huge sweets person. We already talked about this, but they nail it on everything.
Oh yeah. I like to imagine myself as a Publix employee, just looking at us like fish in a fishbowl, like looking at their stuff, you know.
Yeah. Hi, how are you doing today? They're worse than
And
Chick-fil-A.
you're already like this up against the glass. Um, Pontoon or speedboat?
Speedboat.
Okay, that
You gotta
surprised
go
me. I'm not
fast.
gonna lie.
You gotta go fast, right?
Sure.
You can go tubing and skiing, water skiing. That's always fun.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Can't do that on a pontoon. I mean, I guess you could, but it'd be boring. It's so boring going slow on a tube. It is only fun if you're going fast and spinning and turning.
What about jet ski or snowmobile?
Jet ski. I don't like being cold.
Okay, fair enough. Beach house or cabin in the woods?
I'm gonna go with beach house because I haven't lived in one of those yet. I lived in the cabin in the woods.
Hotel or Airbnb?
Hotel.
Have
I
you had a
love
bad
a
experience?
hotel. I love hotel time.
Okay. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Okay.
Apple. I'm an Apple girl for sure.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Coca-Cola.
I like that. This one may have been established, but I don't know if it changes on depending on what you're eating. So chocolate or vanilla ice cream?
I don't like ice cream.
Okay.
It's too cold.
Nothing cold. Keep
Nothing
cold out of.
cold.
Okay, fair enough. You don't even give people the cold shoulder, do you?
Nope.
Burgers or hot dogs?
That's a pretty good joke. I hate being cold so much I never give someone the cold shoulder. It's pretty good. Did you make that up on the spot?
Right there.
Wow. That was pretty good, Dylan. Good job. All right, what was the next one?
Burgers or hot dogs?
I don't do much meat these days,
Okay.
but if I am gonna do it, I go for the burger
What
for
about
protein.
meatless burgers or meatless hot dogs?
No, just just eat vegetables. You know, like if you're gonna do vegetables, just eat vegetables. It'll fuck up your stomach if you eat I don't know what it is. If it's the soy or something that they use, it messes my stomach up. I can't do it.
Oh, so those can be even worse.
Yeah, it's not real. I don't want to say it's not real. They say it's plant-based, but there's other stuff in there it can't be good. It is not the same as eating like if you know what I love to do? We call them salad sandwiches, but you just basically make a sandwich and just pile it with vegetables. My mouth is watering again.
Yeah, sounds delicious.
Mayonnaise, mustard, the onion teriyaki sauce. You just go to Subway. Just go to Subway.
Yeah, eat that yoga mat bread.
Yeah. Hey, I really like Subway. I know people hate and shit on the bread and stuff, but dude, it doesn't hurt your stomach when you eat it and you're on the road. It's safe. It's safe.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I don't like eating meat when I'm on the road because usually eating meat makes me shit water through a screen door. So I don't want to do that when I'm not in my house, you know?
I'm so glad you said that. I love that. The first time. Never mind. Bear with me on this one. Tacos or pizza?
I had pizza tonight, so maybe I'll go tacos. Tacos.
Just to switch it up. Okay.
But when you say tacos, I do. I just get tortillas and dip it in queso and salsa. That's my version of a taco.
Joe's a big fan of the Publix fried chicken.
My kids love the Publix fried chicken.
Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac. Oh, but Biggie was great too. Let's go Biggie. He was sweet. Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. Can't you see?
All right.
But that Hail Mary song was fun.
Well, here's a question for a musician like you. So here's what one of my buddies argued to me about why it's not fair to compare those two. He says that Tupac has a much bigger body of work. So Biggie
he's also got a bigger body.
No, Tupac was the smaller.
Yeah. Wait, did you said Biggie had the bigger body of work, right?
According to him, it was Tupac that had the bigger body.
Oh, well, you just said Biggie.
Oh, shit, I fucked
I'm
that
pretty
up.
sure you just said Biggie because that made me think, oh, he's actually got a bigger body too. I thought you were going to say that.
Not only did
So
I get my shit wrong, but I stepped on your joke too. So
I wonder who had more songs, Tupac or Biggie?
yeah. Well, what do you
Did
think
you
about that argument though? Like just in general, is that fair? Like,
just because they have more stuff they've done? No, it's about quality, right? Over
okay, yeah,
quantity.
yeah, it's your fault you put out more shitty songs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What were you doing? But did you watch Joe Rogan with Snoop Dogg on it recently?
No, no,
It's a good one to watch. I know it's hard to hit Joe Rogan's podcast now that it's on Spotify. It's hard for me to get to it since it's not
no.
on YouTube.
Actually, I do listen to a lot. I love Snoop. Maybe there'd be a few snippets here and there. I feel like I know a lot about Snoop already, so that one didn't like catch me.
Okay, well, it was a good one to watch because they have he talks about Biggie and Tupac and how like before there was any kind of war, he like there was some video footage that he brought to everyone's attention, and it shows them like hanging out together and rapping, freestyling, and they're all like 19, 20 years old, and it's in
Yeah,
LA. And all of them are in the video, other people too. But it's worth it just to go find that part and just to see that and hear him talking about both of them. And he loved both of them. He loved them both.
yeah. I don't know why I said what I said because I pretty much only watch that podcast when it's already someone I know. So what I said doesn't make any sense. I should watch that. You're right. I should.
Or
I
at
should.
least till you get to that part. And there were other parts in it too. Snoop played a song. He's just in there rolling joints or blunts the entire time. It was a good one. I you should catch that one. And then did you catch the Mark Normand, Ari, and Shane Gillis one?
I watched the whole thing. I love
Wasn't
that
it
one.
so good?
God, I love that one. Someone recently I forget who it is, so shout out to you. Sorry, I don't know who you are on Instagram. Did like a cut up where they like picked on Shane Gillis about being fat. I think
Yeah,
Ari put it on his Instagram. That was so fucking funny. Oh my
so
god.
funny. Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
He called him
with
old. He called him fat, and then Shane called Ari old.
so I'll fucking shoot you with a gun.
And Shane did not want to be doing that podcast. You could tell. He's like, I didn't want to do it. We didn't plan this. You sprung it.
Well, that's what's weird about, and we'll probably dive into it later. But that's what's weird to me about guys who go on stage, but then like have to get drunk before a podcast. You know.
Oh
So,
yeah, I think he has to drink before, or he probably has to drink before he goes on stage too.
right. It's that because like Bert Kreischer talks about how that was such a mistake for him, like going on stage with beers and getting too drunk. But it's weird how like such a different range for different people. What works for who? Like Ron White can bring a drink and a cigarette on stage, and be just fine. Like
He quit
it's
drinking now.
yeah, right. I mean, the guy who doesn't he have his own like tequila line or something?
Yeah, isn't it numero one? It's a pretty good one. Good
Yeah,
name anyway.
you know what I love thinking about with Snoop Dogg? Him in Training Day. I loved his character.
Oh yeah, Training Day was a great movie.
When Denzel Washington shoves the pen down his throat and he pukes up the crack and he's like, "What's that?" Jimmy Crack. It's like Jimmy motherfucking Crack. That's right. So good.
I don't remember that scene. I have to watch Training Day again. It's been so long. That was
Oh
such
yeah.
a good movie. I remember we watched it and then watched it again. I mean, like we had to watch it again the second time immediately.
Denzel. I mean Denzel. That's all you got to say. Just
Yeah,
Denzel.
Denzel.
Mm. TLC or Destiny's Child?
I'm gonna have to go with this is hard. Are we going with body of work or
Right. That's a good
quality?
question. I hear that's part of it.
Sheesh. Yeah, I mean Beyonce is Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna have to go Destiny's Child, even though Left Eye died, and I feel kind of sad.
I was gonna say, yeah, you almost have to give it sympathy. Type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And at least they didn't do that thing where like Beyonce did, or did actually she died before anybody could really do that. Like
Like a
leave,
solo thing.
yeah, leave.
Didn't
Or did
I
they
think
do a solo thing?
I think Chili had a thing for a little bit.
I thought she just had sickle cell anemia and was telling people about it.
I thought she just fucked Usher.
What
All right.
happened to Usher? What
Oh
is
man,
Usher doing?
he's still he's probably in a club somewhere and they'll hear yeah every once in a while, just like
Yeah. I heard I had a poster of him on my wall growing up, and he was like this. And it was like a strange. I think.
I love
Do you remember all the Got Milk posters?
yeah.
Or they would be in magazines, all the teen magazines. I
Yep.
thought it was cool to tear that out and put all of them on my wall. So it was actually that. So he had the white mustache and he was doing that, and it said "Got Milk."
Oh yeah. Actually, my cousin used to get that huge. You must have had a huge collage on your wall, didn't you?
Yeah, I would. There was not a white spot on the wall. I just had a collage of things.
I'll never forget. I was so young, and she had a clip out of this guy who had a tattoo where it was a girl laying down and her vagina was his belly button. I always loved that one.
Oh my god,
I
that's
always
pretty
loved that
good.
one.
Have you seen the tattoo of the girl who has my grandpa tattooed on her vagina and her bush is his beard?
No,
Yeah, it's
that
great.
has to be surreal for you. At least Chelsea didn't go chasing waterfalls. Well,
Is your grandpa's face tattooed on some woman's vagina?
man,
Because mine is.
right, yeah, exactly.
Let me see if I
What
can
a
find it.
what a tagline.
I think I'm just gonna Google Willie Nelson vagina to see if it pops up.
Yeah, let's just see. Make sure you do it on DuckDuckGo.
I sent it to him once. I'm like, "Have you seen this?" And he texted me back and he goes, "That looks like it hurt." That's all he said. That looks like it hurt.
There's a sentence for everyone listening to Dress Casual. Willie Nelson texts me back.
It immediately pops up. Look, this is her. Wait, how do I do this? That is her legs. That is her bush, and there's my grandpa on her vagina. You're welcome.
How many people have asked, why do you have Jesus on your vagina?
Ugh, and she's an old lady because there's gray in the pubes. Oh, look at that.
I would have taken it the extra mile with on the road again, with notes on each side, right above it.
On the road again.
on the landing strip again.
Okay, it's funny because I just have to tell you this. So there's like all of these pictures of the vagina one, right? And then the next one is him and Casey Musgraves.
Wow.
I don't know what that. I love Casey too. She would laugh at that, but it is pretty funny that when you Google Willie Nelson vagina, it's a lot of that tattoo and then a picture of him and Casey together.
Dude, you know what's really funny? If you put in, and there's no way I've typed it in this many times in my phone. If you type Taylor, automatically fills in Swift afterward.
Oh yeah, of course.
What the fuck, dude? Imagine being that famous.
If you put in Raelyn, does it automatically come up Raelyn Nelson?
So here's the problem with that. When you go on YouTube and search Raelyn, it's some blonde with 2 N's, Raelyn. And, I'm not going to talk too much smack, but let's just say I know another Raelyn that's a lot cooler than that one.
So that Raelyn, her name is Rachel Lynette, and they made her name Raelyn. Imposter.
You heard it here, folks. That little Miss Piggy with 344,000 subscribers is a freaking imposter.
We get mixed up a lot. I get emails for her. Yeah. And every single time I emailed, "You've gotten the wrong Raelyn," and actually her name's Rachel Lynette, and they changed her name to make sure they know. And then I send a copy of my birth certificate that shows my name. No, I don't.
I feel like I shouldn't have said that little Miss Piggy thing. You didn't laugh too hard at that, so now I feel bad.
I feel bad about talking to her about that. She has diabetes. She has like a cloth. Listen to me. I'm just talking shit. She's probably great. I don't know her personally. But you started the shit talking.
I did. You're right. I'm sorry. We'll get back on track. NSYNC.
Everybody go follow Raelyn on the YouTube because she needs more followers.
Yes, please smash that like button, subscribe, and leave a positive review.
Love it.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
NSYNC, always.
Smurfs or Snorks?
Well, we just flew right past that. You.
I mean, is there a particular? I mean, is there a particular? I mean, does JT get your rocks off? I mean, were you
Smurfs or what? Does JT get your rocks off?
Okay, you tell me why NSYNC over Backstreet Boys.
because Justin really gets my rocks off.
They're not larger than life.
But they are tearing up my heart.
They're not my fire, my one desire.
Now you're just doing lyrics. Well, God must have spent a little more time on NSYNC. I'm just saying.
I feel like now we're doing 98 degrees. Yeah, Smurfs or Snorks?
I don't know what that second one is, so I'm gonna go with Smurfs. Smorts?
Oh, wow.
Did you say Smorks?
Snorks.
What the fuck is a Snork?
They're like the underwater version of Smurfs. They have like the thing coming out of their head.
What? When did this come about?
Oh wow, okay. Well, while you're researching the Snorks, which is
I'm looking at
embarrassing.
Snorks. It's embarrassing for you. It looks like SpongeBob. Never seen this before ever.
Wow.
What did this come on Nickelodeon?
Yeah, it was like the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad you just learned something new. Now I offered something to you, Raelyn. How do you like that?
I'm gonna watch the Snorks later.
Flintstones or Jetsons?
I watched both of them as a kid. I think I like the idea of all the future stuff, you know? Okay. Yeah, Jetsons.
I think George Jetson's supposed to be born this year.
Oh my God, that's so funny. He is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is going to make our world like the Jetsons.
Yeah, as long as we freaking let him on SNL once in a while.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers?
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. And finally, wrapping up this or that, not even having talked about your band or your podcast, and we're an hour in yet, what would be your superpower of choice?
I want to fly.
Okay. You want to fly?
I want to fly.
Well, you thought it was a great question when Brian Callen brought it up. So why would you want to fly?
I did, dude. What did I say last time?
Because his daughter said she would fly, and his son was like, "Why would you want to do that?" And you're like, "That's kind of like a introspective question. Like, where would you go? What would you want to do?" And she said the Icarus thing.
And I had to look that up later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his daughter's smarter than all of us.
I'm not surprised.
I want to fly because I've always wanted to fly. Have you ever dreamt in lucid dreams?
That's some
I don't know how to say it past tense.
What does that mean specifically? Because I've had some pretty vivid dreams.
Oh, okay. So it's not really vivid. It's like where you're having a dream and then you know you're in the dream. You're like, oh, I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
And you're still asleep and you're still in.
Yeah.
All right. So the next time that happens to you, tell yourself you can make yourself do anything at that point because it's just your brain, right? So when I've done that, and I can be like, okay, let's fly, and then immediately I'm flying, and I can look down and see lights, and I'm like flying beside birds and hanging out in trees and stuff. It's kind of cool. So I have kind of flown in my dreams, but I haven't done it it's only in those lucid dreams where I'm like, I'm dreaming. Okay, let's fly, because I want to do that. What would you do if you had a superpower?
Well, before I tell you, do you have a fear of heights?
Like I like roller coasters and that sort of thing, but I don't like looking over, no. I mean, as I get older, my hands start to sweat in those situations just because, I don't know. But I do like roller coasters and going up high, and airplanes don't bother me.
That's good. You probably, I mean, does it depend on the size or no?
Of the airplane?
Yeah.
Or penis? Airplane. The size of the airplane? No. I mean, I guess I've just been on like Southwest, the American Airlines.
Like, I used to have where I used to live, there was like a smaller airport. So my first time getting on a plane was like on a smaller one, and I really hated it.
Yeah, I've never been on a tiny one, like a private one with just a few people in there.
Oh, thank God, not one of those. Yeah.
No, my mom's done that. Her good friend, he has a plane, and they'll fly. They'll drive down to Knoxville, Tennessee, and fly with him to Florida. And he has a beach house too, so they'll do that. And they do that pretty often,
It's like one of those planes that can land on the water.
Probably not. I haven't heard that happening. No,
Oh, yeah.
not with them. I've just seen that in
Fair enough.
movies. I've just
I
seen
thought you
that
were
in
gonna say you haven't heard
movies.
of those planes at all. I was like, what?
Only in movies. Did they really have those? Are people really landing on the water? That
Willie
happened
Nelson.
at like the
Willie Nelson
Hudson.
doesn't have a plane that lands on the water.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a personal plane. I think he did back in the day, and then he got rid of it. It wasn't worth it having it.
It would run on corn, right?
Corn oil, yeah, corn oil.
All right. So finally, we're out of this or that. So I can take the banner down for this or that. So we can finally get into actual questions about you.
Okay.
How many times have you been on another podcast?
Oh my God, there's just so many times I've been on other podcasts. I can't even count them all. I don't know, maybe a handful, 5 to 10. I don't know.
Definitely
Why,
been
do you
on.
know? You've seen them all.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. I definitely know you were on Honeydew and Beard and Dimples. You were on Josh Wolf's.
Yeah, his High Live one. Yeah, I've done a few others.
Let's just say that's it, and so we don't insult anyone.
Yeah, maybe like 5. Maybe 5. I guess I haven't been on that many at all. Dr. Drew's live one. I went to Dr. Drew. I'm trying to think of cool people. Famous people.
Oh, you were on Dr. Drew?
Yeah, it was his live show, not the After Dark. I wish it was After Dark. That would have been fun.
Nice. I have recently, I've always known of Dr. Drew, but I've just recently come across him, as a podcaster. He's a lot cooler than I gave him credit for.
So you're too young for this, but he did Loveline back in the 90s.
Him and Adam Carolla, talk about it when they do podcasts now, but yeah.
It's basically what Dr. Drew does on Dr. Drew After Dark now, where people just would ask these crazy questions about anything and they would answer, and it was mostly sexual questions or having to do with genitalia or something. But I wasn't allowed to watch Loveline when I was a kid, so I would only be able to watch it when I went to spend the night or went over and hung out with my friend Jennifer. So I got to tell him that, and he's like, I understand, you had a good mom, but now I listen to him all the time, and I consider him my personal physician. I really do, because I feel like he's really honest, and he's open to being wrong, like when he's wrong, he's like, I was completely wrong about this. Here's what's happening. Here's the new information that came in and why I think this and why I thought this way before. I just think he's super honest and real. And that's how I want my doctor to be, So it was really cool to actually meet him and talk to him and I was trying to get him to talk to me about energy and yoga and energy. And he was like, yeah, he would not budge on it. He wouldn't say, yeah, there's energy. And I'm like, but energy, it's real. You can feel it, right? And he's like, well, he wouldn't give it to me. But I was trying.
I know Christina P likes to bust his balls on how often him and his wife lay down. So that was always funny to me.
Have anal sex, right? His wife was just a guest on his podcast, and it was great.
His wife was?
Yeah, Susan.
Man, I always feel weird about those ones.
No, it was great. And the Booth boy, Nadav and Emmy and all of them were in there talking, they're all talking to him. So it was good. Do you watch Tom and Christina's podcast?
Yeah, and they're another one that it just fascinates me that sometimes I watch an episode and be like, man, their vibe is total married couple today. And then I watch a different episode oh, they're both really into it today. So it's you get that,
Yeah.
But especially as a married person, you pick up those vibes. But
I know what you mean.
I definitely listen to them, and the couples thing is just really funny because I'm glad it works for them, and I'm glad it worked with Dr. Drew having his lady on, and Bert and his wife. But I listened to an episode of Dax Shepard has a podcast.
Yeah.
And his wife came on one time, and I thought that was a really awkward one.
Really? Why is that? Did they start fighting?
You just pick up certain that one might have stung, or that one wasn't well received, those type of things. Or
he's married to Kristen Bell, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, I would want to listen to that. I want to listen to that.
Yeah.
I want to hear them bitch at each other. That's fun.
Well, and also I feel like it's a weird dynamic, and it's probably not weird for them, but he does the podcast with Monica.
Monica.
So it's yeah, he's her. He's
the singer Monica.
She's his like his co-host, Monica
Really?
Padman, I think her name is. Yeah, she's like
Oh,
that's his co-host.
but not the singer Monica
No.
from the 90s. No? Okay. Her name is just Monica.
Oh, nice.
No, I'm asking. You don't remember the singer Monica?
Man, wouldn't it be nice to be able to just have your first name be your trademark?
Hold on. I forget what song she did, but I feel like didn't she do Angel of Mine?
Oh, Angel. That was her?
I think
Okay.
so. When I first saw you, I already knew. That one.
I love when you ask people like how they first were introduced to music because it made me think of it. And it made me think of how when you were younger, like it to me anyway, it didn't matter what the station was on the radio. Like I just listened to what was on the radio. So I
Yeah.
really enjoyed like Paula Cole, like Where Have All the Cowboys Gone, like songs like that. Just
That one
silly
was on the
songs.
top 40 for like years. It was always like number 38, 39, and 440 for years and years and years. That one song. Where have all the cowboys gone?
Here we go. Yeah, it was so good. Like even now, like I would still listen to it now, and even if I didn't like it now, it would just take me back. So it's got that nostalgia going for it.
Yep. It reminds me of keyboarding class in high school. What? How? I gotta listen to that Paula Cole song again. It's been a long time. I can't forget
Another
that.
question I wanted to ask is, don't you feel like you've made it when you're singing on the pole again on the Dimples and Beard podcast?
I feel like I'm gonna get ostracized from my family. Yeah. I feel like I made it for sure.
Also from that same podcast, man, I was really fascinated by the potential of the XYZ network doing a potential show with potential people who may or may not know potentially famous people. Man, what would that have been like? That sounds like a total VH1 nightmare. I'm glad you dodged that bullet.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too. Supposedly it was going to be like Big Brother situation where you go in, everybody goes in, you don't get to talk to anybody. You have no phone. You don't know who anybody is related to. And we're supposed to like pretend to not be related to people. I don't know.
Was
There
it
was going to
Squid
be
Game?
clues and challenges, and then we were going to be voted off. And it was, yeah, I didn't do it.
Now, I know that Hank Williams' I wouldn't have been down for that shucking show.
I just know like my friends that are the funniest of my friends, they were like, this sounds like a terrible idea. Like the show sounds awful. Like it's not going to be a great hit show. And so I heard that, and then of course I talked to a couple people in the business, and they were like, no, it's not worth it. Don't do it. And so
Yeah.
I just didn't.
Don't feel like being the next Flavor Flav.
I just couldn't. Yeah, it's hard to be a household name, Dylan. So you really got to pick and choose when you want to do that.
Hey, I should know. Now, your new song, Free,
Yeah,
is it going to be as good as How to Live by Kid Rock?
it's gonna be better than that. There goes that back to that quality versus quantity thing, maybe.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
I don't
Have
even
you
know
heard
that
that?
song. The only Kid Rock song I know is "Cowboy Baby," and what was that one he did? Sing it that he just ripped off "Sweet Home Alabama."
Oh yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
Singing "Sweet
Now
Home Alabama" all summer long.
you have to admit, just like every bad band has, every rose has its thorn. Ball with the Ball was pretty badass.
"Ball with the Ball."
Yeah,
Is that a Kid Rock song?
yeah.
Literally only know "Cowboy Baby" and is
So you're
that the
telling me you've never heard the fantastic lyrics "Ball with the Ball, the bang, diggy, diggy, diggy," so the boogie set up, jump the boogie.
okay? That I heard that from The Wedding Singer.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
So Kid Rock did a song like that?
Yeah, this is for the questions that don't have any answers, the midnight glancers and the topless dancers. get in the
What if
pit and
it's
try
like
to love
absorbed at
someone.
this time or something? When did this come out?
It was on Devil Without a Cause whenever that came out.
Going to the Google machine. Kid Rock, Bada Bee Da Bada Boo? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, I think it was called Baby Shark.
Are you kidding?
No, yeah, I'm kidding.
I just already Googled it. Kid Rock, Devil with the what?
Oh, that is actually, yeah, that's its own song, Devil Without a Cause. That's a good one too. That's got Joe C on.
Oh, but with a daba. But with
Yeah.
a ba.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh my God. I love that even two people are witnessing Raelyn Nelson discover Ba with the Ba for the first time.
I've never heard this song.
Oh,
Thought
this
you
is my
made it
favorite.
up.
God, I love it.
This is an ad.
So tell me about the
Anyway,
time.
continue on.
Tell me about the time, and it's going to be maybe a touchy subject. But you said, we talked beforehand. You said anything goes. Tell me about the time you got canceled by the LGBT community.
Okay, so I was in a duo with a friend of mine, and we wrote a song, and we sang that song a lot of places in Nashville, and then Trump got elected to office. Then all of a sudden, we get canceled for singing this song all around Nashville, even though we played this song at the lesbian bar in Nashville, and people there were screaming for us to play the song again. The next time we played, they were like, play the tram song. I can't even say the word without.
What's the name of this lesbian bar?
Lipstick Lounge. I'll call it out. Lipstick Lounge in East Nashville. I like that bar. I went there a lot before all this happened. And yeah, but I understand they run a business, and then they had all of a sudden had a lot of people contacting them saying that we shouldn't have our CD release party there. They shouldn't let us play there because we had a transphobic song, which wasn't true. It was just a silly song. And yeah, and then we got canceled in Nashville for a week. It was so tiny, but it felt really big at the time.
And your relationship and your duet is
started. That was the beginning of the end of us. It was just very stressful that whole week, and then we ended up having a little weekend run and getting into a big fight. And then after that, nothing was the same. And it was like a year later. So it was a culmination of a whole bunch of fights over that year, and then we got into one really big fight and never talked to each other again. It's sad. It's sad, and it feels like basic white girl shit, or like but I want to say that I know she feels, and I felt complete relief when we just stopped and got away. It was just too tough. We were both too done. I think we were just done because of what happened, which is sad. If that had never happened, I almost wonder if we would still be writing songs and playing together. Because it didn't get bad until after that, and we both just started fighting and drinking way too much when we were together, and it was a lot to try to manage how we were going to still play and after that. But it's funny because you wait 2 weeks and then they're on to someone else, and I think I would handle it differently next time. Definitely would handle it differently next time after talking to Ari, and just seeing some of my favorite comedians go through it. When it's like, fuck them if they can't take a joke, whoever it is, even me, if something bothers me and I can't take a joke, fuck me, like if you're telling a joke and you're trying to be funny, it's okay, that's where I'm at.
No, I speaking of Ari, I mean, the master of knowing that, right?
Yep. And it was the best advice. We even kind of edited some of it out because it was geared toward that whole tranny gate thing that I was talking about, and I didn't want it to be exposed on our podcast.
But tranny gate.
Yeah, we call it tranny. You can't say the word tranny, so, but you can say it if you say it underneath your breath like that, tranny. You can say it like that, but you can't say it like I'm talking to you now. But yeah, and he made me feel so much better. He's like, look, they're beneath you. When he said they're beneath you, I was like, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. He's like, if you're telling a joke, what's messed up is that from here on out, whatever you're writing, you're going to think twice about anything you write now. So it's hindering art. It's hindering something that's helping people heal. Laughter makes people heal. Music makes people heal. So helps you get through trauma. And now we're just hindering it, just because somebody wants to yell at somebody, or like, and here's the thing, all of it was done online, nobody said anything to our face, because if they did, they would have seen us and felt our energy, and like we went to the Women's March and marched for all of us, we wore the pink pussy hats in DC and marched the whole day for everyone's right for freedom. We're on your side and you're coming after us. You are wasting your time, because and I feel like that block of a wall when you're just texting, it's not a personal argument. And there were a lot of people that were really, really mean, but way meaner than what we did. You know what I mean? Way meaner than what we did.
Ironically, yeah, that always ends up being the thing.
That being said, I never want to hurt anyone. My intention is always just to make people laugh or to make people enjoy good music. That is literally my intention. So if you look at the intention behind what somebody's doing, they're not trying to hurt you.
Yeah. Oh, one of my favorite Big J. Ogerson jokes, he talks about intent and literally uses it in the tranny example. He's like, if I say I want to fuck that tranny, that's a positive thing. That's a good thing. But if I say I'm going to kill that transsexual, then sure, I said transsexual, but I said I'm going to kill them. Like, context is everything,
Yeah.
So it's pretty simple, but hits home pretty easy,
And it's funny. I had this happen yesterday. With my mom, she said this joke about, it was ridiculous. It was this meme like, instead of Jesus taking the wheel, he needs to pull over and smack some of y'all upside the head with his flip flop. That was the meme she shared. She's like, oh, it's so funny. And I was like, the Jesus I know isn't violent, because I have church trauma with people shaming and just hypocrisy there.
Yeah.
And I was like, no Jesus, no church, no nothing for a long time. And yoga really brought a new light on that to me, because Jesus is the ultimate yogi. And yoga isn't just a workout, it's a way of life of non-violence, non-stealing, truthfulness. There's more in there. But so I've like, over the past year or so, I'm like, I love Jesus again. He's the perfect yogi. I connected it that way.
Yeah.
So when she said this meme of him, hitting someone up upside the head with a flip flop, I'm like, the Jesus I know isn't going to do that, And she goes, well, I think it's funny. And then it was like tension between us after that. And then I saw an Ashley Longshore. Do you know who that artist is?
The name is familiar, but
yeah, if you saw her work, you would know it. She has a Mary Poppins painting that she does, and it said, "Fuck them if they can't take a joke." What I just said, and
oh, there you go.
And it hit me that my mom, like, I was doing the same thing to my mom, right? Just because it triggered me from some sort of trauma about church Jesus,
Yeah.
When I'd say jokes all the time that my mom doesn't think is funny and doesn't approve of, and she never is like, that's not funny, or comes at me about it. So I did apologize to her today. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry that I did that, because you're allowed to laugh at whatever you think is funny, and if nobody can take it, then fuck them, and she giggled, she's like, okay. And she just thought it was funny. And even though I don't think it's funny, okay, here's the thing. Like a pencil made of wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you see it, what do you think it is? You think it's a pencil, right?
Yeah.
It's just a wooden pencil.
Yeah.
Well, if a cow saw that wooden pencil, it would think it was food because it's wood, right? Like they would just like if it was like made out of bamboo or something. Let's just say this pencil's made out of bamboo. They wouldn't see it as a pencil. The cow sees it as food.
Yep.
So who's right, you or the cow? Is it a pencil or is it food? Well, both of you are right because you both see it different ways, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like we all see things differently, and you gotta be willing to change your brain around to what the other person's perspective is of it and open yourself up to it. And fuck them if they can't take a joke. You know? Even me, that's why I said that. Even me, like yesterday when I couldn't take that, I was mad at me. I'm like, you're supposed to be able to take any kind of joke, you know, like, come on, you know? So it's, I'm sorry, that was a really long answer to the tranny gate question.
Hey, clearly
I just really want to show you this too.
It's something on your chest, so.
Yeah, it's kind of recent. See, fuck them if they can't take a joke. She sells it for $4,000.
I can't wait to have my own producer that can pull things up because that's going to be really fancy. And then I won't have to be like, hey, did you see this? Because I've done that too on my other podcast. TJ shares my sentiment. I definitely feel like I would fart too much for yoga. What you were just saying. It makes me think of Jackass when Johnny Knoxville, they did that whole segment where he would go into different ones and fart and leave. Everyone loved it though.
Yeah. I've actually never heard anybody fart in a yoga class, but I'm sure they do. You know, like you're just in these weird with your ass up in the air. Why would you know?
I was gonna say you've never heard anyone, but have you smelled anyone?
No, I haven't smelled it. I hear a lot of queefs though. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What you were just saying about like anything being funny, like allowing people to laugh at anything, I thought that was like Ari Spears, the king of that. You know, if anyone's seen his Kobe video, obviously the king of that. But you had Lisa Lampanelli on recently.
Yeah.
And she had like, from what I remember of Lisa, because I haven't seen her in a while, like from what I remember, she was doing roasts. So I'm like, I remember like the big, like the very loud outfits and the wig and the, you know, maybe it wasn't a wig, but you know, the big hair and like the makeup and all that. So to hear her say that like now she's kind of turned this corner to where like picking on people isn't as funny anymore and that sort of thing, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Because I was glad to hear her like wrap that up with sort of the sentiment that if that's your thing, then so be it. Because what I hate is people who are hypocrites. And like, like one of my, like the thing that sticks out to me is when Eddie Murphy, he talked about how Bill Cosby called him up one time and complained about him cursing during his comedy. And like, he's like, then later I talked to Richard Pryor about it. And Richard Pryor was like, man, tell Bill Cosby I said, suck my dick, you know? I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And especially like to know Bill Cosby's like the skeletons in his closet and the fact that he had a problem with cursing, like that just goes a whole lot deeper.
And then how cool is it that Lisa wanted to do something different with this next half of her life, like something opposite. She was very successful at the roast and doing, you know, roast comedy. And then she's like, no, I want to help people now. I don't want to make people feel like shit. Yeah. And so now she's just doing what she wants and she can. And, you know, I was so nervous to do that one with her because, of course, she's so popular and big deals ever since I was a kid. But I had heard that she wasn't nice, that she was kind of just short and like a cold person. And then even behind the scenes, but she was not that way. She was immediately just warm and like something changed in her from what, you know, because I just thought she was going to be mean. Maybe that's just because of the roast and just from what a couple people said. But then I don't even know if it's true. You know how rumors are, but I heard that she didn't like Bert Kreischer and I love Bert, you know, but she said she didn't like his comedy I don't even know if that's true. I just heard that you know, it could be a rumor. She could like everyone. I feel like she does like everyone. Things,
yeah.
If you follow her on Instagram, she's doing a new podcast. You heard about it, but she does little things, and it's still kind of roasty. It's funny though. Like she's like on Judgmental Wednesday, and she was talking about dark chocolate, and she said, "Dark chocolate's dumb. You're not dieting, and this isn't good for you. Go eat lettuce." You know, like so. It's still like she still does it in a fun way. You know.
Oh yeah, because I think she told you. I mean, I hate to put a woman's age out there, but let's just say she's
Oh
not
yeah.
younger than. Let's just say she's not younger than 50. But I love that that's like her crew. Like she only wants to hang out with younger people and like be part of that.
Yeah. And I only want to hang out with people who are 50.
Well, there you go. I kind of feel the same way sometimes.
Yeah, some of my favorite people are in their 40s and 50s. Plus, you look the youngest in the crowd, so it's a really good.
Yeah.
That's a good move. If all the people around you look old, then you look really young.
What was cool about her, and when I really think about listening to your podcast with these comedians, what stood out about her and Kathleen was they have like a real desire to discover other comedians. Like
Yeah.
everyone sort of sounded like they have an eye for talent, but those two in particular would talk about specifically other comedians. So that was kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, I get to go drink beers with Kathleen, and we talk about comedy, and I share new comedians that I found with her and stuff. And she does the same.
She is and I hate that I have to parse it out like this, but it's true. She's my favorite female comedian.
Why do you have to parse it out like that?
Because if I can't just say she's my favorite comedian, it's not true. But I should give her some props. I mean, she's
because what humans with vaginas can't be funny. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what I wanted to get into with you. So we'll plan
Who's your favorite? Wait, who's your favorite boy comedian then?
Man, I feel like it's almost like a trio type thing. That's like Chappelle, Carlin, Bill Burr. They're all right up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are all big dogs.
Big dogs, Put those on Pepper and Thomas's podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If it would ever come back, those fuckers.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite transgendered comedian?
Ooh, probably Ralphie May.
He did.
I just did it. Yeah, sorry, Ralphie. So, man, I can't believe it's taken this freaking long to get to this because I really want to talk about it.
Okay.
And I do apologize. I mean, what are we looking at here for time?
126.
I mean, what's your limit? Sorry, that was a question.
We're at 127. I don't know. I'm okay. We're good.
Okay. All right. Just give me the light. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What was you just had your first stand-up experience?
Yep, I did.
What was it like? How'd it go?
It was I was so nervous, very, very nervous. But I got up there and did it. There was a guy in the crowd that said afterwards that I looked nervous, and I wish I had taken the microphone off the stand and walked around with it, but I didn't. I just stood right there at the stand and talked into it.
Yep.
So that's something I would do differently. I forgot jokes I was gonna say, but I did get big laughs, and that sound is addicting. Whenever you say something, they laugh really hard. Even the little laughs are good, but when they laugh really hard, you're like, okay, yeah, this is fun.
Oh yeah. What was the line you feel like got the big one?
My joke about my grandpa, I think.
About sleeping your way to the top?
Yep. That one got the biggest one.
Awesome. Well, good. Glad.
Yeah.
So something you're gonna do again.
I would do it again. Yeah, but I don't want to do it in front of people I know. I would rather do it in front of people I don't know.
Yes. Oh my God. I didn't do any open mics until I moved down here, and it's such a huge advantage not knowing anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about, I don't know. There were just a few people in the audience that I knew, and I was like, oh man, I really would rather not know these people than do it. But so it was
one
fine.
time, I've only done it like this last Thursday. It was probably like my 7th open mic, and one time I went, and my mom was really excited because I told her about the first time I went, and so I was like, oh, I'll take her to this next time I go. So bring my mom with me, not knowing that it's going to be competition night. So like each person is matched up against another comedian that night. So like whoever gets the audience's vote at the end of it, like goes on to the next round. So I had to like really spice up my sets, to win, but also had to tell these embarrassing stories in front of my mom. So it was a great night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom can't ever come to a stand-up comedy thing though. But I did send her I got a voice memo of it and I sent it to her. So I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have sent it to her, honestly. She didn't say anything about it. And then the next day I was like, well, did you listen? She's like, yeah. I was like, did you laugh? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay, that's all I'm getting. Whatever.
So obviously, the differences in performing music and stand-up, you have like you only really need the microphone if you're in stand-up, right? You have so much more equipment in a band.
Yeah.
But if you're in
No,
a
I want to
band,
sing though. I want to sing and play. Like it's not. I don't want to do comedy over music. Music's my thing.
right?
It's definitely. But you're right. Like if you could go and get paid. What I don't know how much comedians get paid, but if you can go get paid just to walk and it's just you and a microphone, you don't even have to provide a microphone. Every venue has one. It's
Right.
got to be so much easier. But then everything's on you. It's all the whole show is on you.
TJ wants to know, do you feel like if there's a big difference between Nashville country and Texas country?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Also wants to know, have you met Brad Williams?
Not yet, but he was supposed to do my podcast when he was here last, and we couldn't make the time work out. My guitar player had a death in his family, so he had to go be at a funeral that weekend, and we couldn't figure it out. But the next time he comes in, we'll make it happen. I haven't met him yet, but he's funny.
He is funny. He does the cameo intro for our Just Be a Dad podcast. Man, I get to keep plugging.
That's cool.
Raelyn Nelson on the show. I get to keep plugging this other podcast. I'm so lucky.
What's the other one? Dad is your mom?
Yeah. Everyone watch out for the Dad is Your Mom podcast. Please smash
Uncle Dad. What is it? Dad is a good dad? What is it?
It's called Just Be a Dad.
Just Be a Dad. Okay.
Yeah. So you're very young, you learned how to perform from your grandfather. Yes, you got your guitar from your grandfather, yes.
Or yeah, he gave me a guitar. He gave me a guitar, and he gave me a guitar lesson. But I took lessons from my friend's dad when I was little, because my grandpa was on the road.
Okay.
But I wanted to perform because my grandpa did. So,
right.
Yeah.
Did you do like any like band throughout school or like drama club, any stuff? Did you always perform basically?
I was in string band, and so I played rhythm guitar in string band and sang. And then I was in show choir. And I was the only white girl in show choir. It was all black people. And so it was like, Mr. Saturday Dance. We dance and do this. And then my friend Sarah, you'll like this. My friend Sarah Twilley, who was in the string band with me, and she played fiddle. We started a band called Twilley Nelson. Because we were like, we have to start a band because your last name's Twilley and mine's Nelson. We need Twilley Nelson. That's fucking funny,
I can't even take a sip right now. I'm giggling too hard.
So she actually just DM'd me yesterday. She's like, hey, we need to bring Twilley Nelson back. And she's like, maybe 2022 we do some gigs. I'm like, yes, let's do it. Just because everybody will laugh at the name. It doesn't matter what we sing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you both come out with tattoos on your... No, I'm just kidding.
On our vaginas, and that's our album cover. Yes. Yes.
So how did the band, the Raelyn Nelson band, come together?
So my guitar player, Jonathan Bright, he knew people to play in the band with us. So he's the one who actually got the band together. But I met him through someone who was selling us both weed. And I was telling him that I was looking for a place to record some songs. And he's like, oh, you should reach out to JB. So I did. Went over there, recorded some pieces of songs I had written. And he's like, we should finish these songs and put a combo. He said combo. Put a combo together. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And then we just slowly started writing songs and building what it is. We didn't even quite know it was going to be garage rock or country garage rock at the time. We were just writing songs. And then when I was like, we need to put a band together. And he was like, okay. And he grabbed Preach, the bass player that's always been in bands with him. And then Paul Simmons too, he grabbed him. And then we of course had a lot of drummers over the years, but we had like 13
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. 13. And we've had a lot of really cool ones.
Let's not skim over that. I mean, one to Gene Simmons and one to Steven Tyler.
Yep, and then one to Steve Earle too.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah. So, and like I said, really good drummers. But yeah. And actually, like two of the big ones, like the one we lost to Gene Simmons, he just played with us in Sacramento when we played. And Sarah, who we lost to Steven Tyler, she just played with us in Pittsburgh. So it's not like we didn't lose them. They can come and go when they can.
I don't know what I was expecting with Steven Tyler, but when he was on Joe Rogan, I was like, this is a quirky dude.
Yeah, that was weird, right? That was a weird podcast. He's a weird guy. And Loving Mary, that whole Loving Mary backing him thing, I don't think that lasted very long. He didn't do country forever.
Oh, okay. I wonder if he still carries that crystal ball around.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does. And he goes to AA meetings here in Nashville. He tries to get Todd Snyder to go with him. And he has a young girlfriend, of course. He walks around in that outfit. Yeah, he is exactly what you want Steven Tyler to be.
I feel like he's Jack Sparrow for Halloween every year.
Yes, every day. Every day that is what he is.
So what was your first instrument? It was the guitar?
Guitar, yeah.
And not the uke?
That happened because JB was doing a Replacements cover album all on ukulele with another buddy of his. And he just finished that record when I met him. There were a lot of ukuleles sitting around the studio. So when he was doing the engineering part of our songs, I was picking it up, the ukulele, and I was like fiddling with it. And he taught me the chords. And then I just mentioned, like, what do you think about me playing the ukulele in the band? And at first he was like, we'd have to find a loud amp to plug it into because it's just too loud. So then they found me a loud amp. We use Orange amps now. They endorse us. Orange amps are awesome. But
shout out to Orange amps.
At the time, they found one for me and then painted it green, like my favorite color. And that was so sweet of the guys. And then so it just sounds like a really high-end guitar. Like that part of the guitar, not the low strings.
Yeah, when I'm listening to you play, it's not like I feel like I'm listening to Over the Rainbow or anything.
No, and I don't even play the ukulele like that. I don't, usually you strum it like this or the proper way is like this, and I play it with a pick like a guitar.
So that's not the proper way?
Nope. I don't even know if I could do a whole song. Yeah, you're supposed to kind of just do all the strings this way.
Damn.
And not even play it with a pick. I'm pretty good with my thumb, but yeah, I don't know. I just play the guitar, but the ukulele is cool because you can move around a lot with it. It's, you still have to put your hands on chords, but it's just tiny, and nobody else was fronting a band with a ukulele, so I was just trying to be different.
You got that going for you.
Yeah.
That's probably the one thing you have going for you. I mean,
that's the only thing I got.
So with JB, I noticed in the Spin article that I read about you being the future, it didn't mention anything about you guys having the same dealer. That was conveniently left out.
That's how we met. We met by going to the same weed guy. That's how we met. I can't say his name because that's not cool, but it's not legal here in Tennessee yet.
So, which one do I want to go to next? That's a good one. Why is the album called Don't?
It was something we were saying a lot at the time. Like when people would do stuff and you don't like it, you just like, don't. And I thought it was funny to make it the album name because it was like, don't listen. And it would make people want to listen.
Oh, one of those reverse psychology tricks.
Yeah.
I like getting hit with hot dogs. It don't bother me none.
It's just ridiculous. There's really no great reason. I tried to justify it by Weed and Whiskey going, I don't need a preacher's blessing. I don't need, so it says don't in there. But that doesn't make any sense. It's literally because we're just going, don't. And it was all based on, at one point, my sister and I were getting ready for a show. And she was filming, and I had no idea. But so I'm like primping in the mirror, right? She's next to me, and she's filming. And she starts going like this with her hair, like this. And it's hit me in the face. And I went, don't. And it's so whiny and cunty sounding. And she had it on film, right? And I didn't know. I'm like, don't, you know. So then after that, we started going, don't, and then we just changed the inflection, and it was just something we were saying all year long, and that is literally why it's called don't.
Well, that's pretty cool. Okay.
I'm not a serious artist. I'm just writing songs and just trying to be fun.
I love it. It definitely answers the question, and I love the image doesn't come to mind, but I love that it was an homage to the Clash, London
Yeah.
Calling. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I think of the Clash as like, because I was gonna ask you this question, like, what's a band that you don't necessarily seek out, but you enjoy their music? And for me, it's the Clash. Like, I don't seek them out, but anytime they're on, who doesn't love the Clash?
Same.
Yeah.
The Ramones are like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So with Weed and Whiskey, I think it's really cool that to get the video going, you like looked up a local field to go to. I think it's also cool and a little bit lame that people in the comments of the video were like, that's a hemp field. It's not even a real marijuana field. So, of course, YouTube comments, right? And then how did you come across the old lady?
She really lives there.
She lives there.
She's the matriarch of the family there.
Okay.
And yeah, in Tennessee, we don't have weed fields. We only have hemp because it's not legal here. So we just found the hemp. Let's see, Corbin Sciences is the name of the field or the farm. And so she's like Mama Corbin. She's like this old lady. And JB is the one who thought of having her. He was like, do you have a shotgun? And she's like, how many do you need? So she went and got like this really pretty one that was hers, and she did it for it. I can't believe it. That all came up right then. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what we were doing. We just knew we were gonna like dance around in the field, play. So we just started figuring out a storyline while we were there, and they just happened to be really cool. So it worked out.
And you almost died on the way there or something?
Yes. Did you see like Evan starts turning into the you can't even see it in the video, but we were literally, I was in fear for my life. All of us were, but you can't tell in the video. It looks like we just turned in and everything was fine. I was so upset that it didn't look like we almost died because it sure did feel like we were going to die.
So this is a little bit of a deeper question. So
okay,
one of those, but you were married during the 2014 R&B album, the self-titled Raelyn Band album?
Yeah.
And you were divorced for this album, Don't?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that played into the albums at all?
Played into it? Man, I got married so young.
Like, do you feel like you had a little bit more negative energy in Don't, or no? You have Hating You. Hating You is a good song.
Hating You. Yeah, I think maybe so. Literally I write songs about what's going on. You know, I can sit down and make up a song about a situation, but I like to write about what's going on. And because songs are kind of photographs of memories of time, you know? You said, when you hear the Paulo Cole song, it takes you back to that spot.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing. When you're writing the song, you know, it takes you back to what was going on around you when you wrote it, when you perform it, when you hear it. And so, yeah, that definitely was a lot of that going on during that time, right? Between 2014 and 2019. So, yeah, I can see where it seems like that. I remember Todd Snyder telling me, you're not going to have any suitors because of that because of the songs are just kind of like brothers, a little bit like he's coming after you and about that. And I was like, I don't care. I just write about songs that are going on, you know, or things that are going on. I don't care, you know.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and I just wait for songs to come to me. I'm not trying to, and they do come, you know. So I don't want to force anything. It's not real if it's not something that's happening to me or my friends or around me. I don't think it's worth writing about, you know.
Oh yeah, you and JB have said it a couple times, but authenticity is what sells anymore, for sure.
Yeah, you have to be real. Yeah.
So Don't is awesome. I do love Don't. When you're Because now that you've done a stand-up set, when
Yeah.
you're putting an album together, do you notice the similarities in construction? Like you have to really hook people in right away, and then you have to kind of wait and build up to like another
You know what
home
I
run.
think? No, I don't think of it that way. I think of I want the first song to be something spectacular, like you said, to really get them into wanting to hear the rest of the album.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just start making sure that the keys are different. It's in a different key than the one before it. And
Okay.
then the last song has to be a good kicker too, right? So that they remember. So that's kind of just so that someone's not like, this sounds like the exact same song. You know, that's why I want it to be in a different key. That's what I do.
Because the last song on Don't Rebel Girl, right?
Yeah.
That song is badass. I love that song.
Yeah, from Bikini Kill.
Yeah, and that's not blowing smoke up your ass. I really do. I think that's a punk, like, really cool song.
It is really cool. I watched the Kathleen Hanna documentary and was inspired by her and the documentary and heard Rebel Girl in there and sent it to JB. I was like, what do you think about us, recording this one? He was like, I think that'd be a great idea. It's literally just playing A the entire time. You don't change. I mean, we've done it acoustic and we did add some more chords in it to make it make sense acoustically. But as you know, as a rock band, it is just playing A the whole time.
It makes me think of the Runaways instantly.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So let's see what's next. Okay, the Spin article.
Mm-hmm.
They described you as a mix between, and I'm probably gonna say this wrong because I've never pronounced these ladies' names before. The one's easy. A mix between Linda Ronstadt
Ronstadt, yeah.
and Roseanne Cash. How do you feel about that?
Oh my God, that's so awesome to be put in with two amazing ladies. Have you ever heard any of their stuff?
So right before this, I popped on a few of their songs.
Okay, yeah.
I like
It's
it.
very cool.
I like Linda for sure.
Roseanne Cash is Johnny Cash's daughter. Do you know that?
Okay, now I do.
From the
I wonder if she was going to be on that show.
What?
I wonder if she was going to be on that show.
Well, oh yeah, maybe. So it's from his first wife, though not with June, right? Because June and him had John Carter.
Yeah.
So it's from his first wife, Vivian. What's her name? And so yeah, Roseanne Cash is an amazing songwriter. She's just Johnny's daughter, so of course she's going to be an amazing songwriter. And Linda Ronstadt's really good too. She's one of the old school good ones. Yeah, of course I'm happy that they would say that, and it makes sense because I grew up listening to old school country. So
yeah, why do you feel like they describe you like that? What is it about you think?
Like just like a sweet girl sound, and maybe like cool lyrics. You know, like maybe something said in the lyrics that's a little. What's the word? You know, like when you're like, shit. Hold on. How do you say like wordplay? Wordplay in lyrics.
Yeah.
Fun wordplay, catchy melody, and like a sweet sounding voice. You know.
Okay.
But like you said, in Rebel Girl, it's not a sweet sounding voice. It's a total rocker.
Like I'm listening to Joan Jett, you know?
Yeah.
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 Or the other girl there.
I mean, Chrissy Hines too, the one like the Pretenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we might as well talk about, someone you're related to.
Okay.
What was it like in school being Willie Nelson's granddaughter? Did it change anything?
Yeah, in high school it got different because most of those people were more aware of who he was. You know, when we were kids, nobody knew who Willie Nelson was. But my grandpa did come to Grandparents' Day in 5th grade and stood there and signed autographs for everybody's grandparents that were there for hours.
Damn.
There was a long line to get autographs and pictures with him, and he stood there the whole time and did it.
Wow.
And all I wanted to do was go to the bus and play on the bunks. That's what I wanted to
do. I realized he did that for everyone, but ultimately he did that for you. And
he did that for me. I know. Yeah. And I didn't realize that at the time, right. I'm just a little kid.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I'm like, oh my God. And it's a lot to do that too, to stand and talk to someone or to a lot of people for hours at a time, that's so much energy that he had to spend on doing that. And he did that a lot in his career. He can't now because of COVID, and towards the end he didn't do it as much, but toward the end of it sounded like he died. Toward the end before COVID, he didn't sign autographs as much. But our whole life, or his whole life of doing it, he always spent time with the fans. And so that it was important to treat them well. The fans are the reason why he's cool, so he always took the time to spend time with them.
Why is Still Moving to Me your favorite song?
It's just my favorite one right now. And it's because it's very yogi, I think. Sit and meditate and like that. And it's a good wordplay. We're just talking about wordplay.
It's very, shimmy,
Yeah. Da, 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 da. I just
very upbeat for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think the words of it are what I mean by his favorite. He says that the most important album is Yesterday's Wine that he did. So everyone should listen to Yesterday's Wine. He said that's the most important one.
Okay.
When I was a kid, the song I Can Get Off on You was my favorite because it said cocaine and whiskey in it, and I wasn't allowed to do those things. I've never done cocaine, but it was like my mom, whenever I would sing it, my mom would be like, so I think I wanted to sing it because of that.
Yeah. Let's keep her further away from,
Yeah.
I think Shotgun Willie is such a great wake and bake song.
That is a great
the perfect
song.
wake and bake song.
And he goes, Shotgun Willie's got all of his family there. And I was like, oh, it's me.
Now, it's funny because I'm going to ask you this question, knowing that it's ironic because one of my favorite Willie Nelson songs is also a song that he didn't write. But like Ryan Sickler's favorite song was always on my mind. I think that was also Lisa Lampanelli's. Does that bother you when people's favorite songs are songs that he didn't write?
No, because he made them bit popular,
Yeah.
It makes me upset when people think that Patsy Cline wrote Crazy because he wrote it, and it's, even though it's her version that got to be the most popular, he wrote the song. So, and it's like the #1 jukebox song ever, so it's kind of the same thing, he covered somebody else's song. I mean, Elvis tried to make that popular and it didn't go.
Oh, I guess I haven't heard his version.
Yeah, I think there's a version of him and Papa Willie doing it just because they, digitally put them together.
That's annoying.
Yeah. It wasn't a real session,
Yeah. It's like when they put Bob Marley and Biggie together. So yeah, mine. So I love Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. It makes me think of I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. Like those two are just right there with me. I love those. And also I think the Ray Charles influence on him, you can really tell, which is so cool. And I love his version of You Don't Know Me. I must have been like the only one in my high school that had that on their MP3 player. Like,
You Don't Own Me?
You Don't Know Me.
You Don't Know Me.
Yeah, is that You Give Your Hand to Me and You Say Hello. That one. I really enjoy the way he sings that one. It's just so sweet.
That is I do know that one. Yeah. And then Gotta Get Drunk is great. I think I want to cover that one in my band. Gotta Get Drunk.
Okay.
I don't think he wrote You Got the Money, Honey either. I think Lefty Frizzell wrote that one, but that one's a good one. Yeah.
I thought that I think it was the Mark Norman episode. You guys brought up a really interesting concept that cover bands are totally cool, but you could never do a cover comedian. I forget who you did that.
Yeah, I have this whole thing like you can't cover a comedian.
Yeah.
Except on TikTok, people are doing they lip sync to the comedians on TikTok.
Oh.
So I guess you could do that, but I couldn't learn Mark Norman's bit and go and perform it. Right. As a Mark Norman cover comic. You can't do that, but you can do it. But if you sing it, you can do it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
And sell merch. It's all good.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I do Rebel Girl, and we do a lot of covers. Like I do all that. Bad Reputation. how is it that I'm doing my cover of Joan Jett, and it's fine, but I can't do my version of Nikki Glaser because that's plagiarism or
all of a sudden people call you Carlos Mencia and your career's over.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, speaking of Nikki Glaser, did you ever get your song on her podcast?
No. She had her best friend do one.
Ah.
When you have your best friend, if they wrote you one, you would use theirs.
I guess you'll just have to fall back on the fact that Ari Shaffir uses your song.
Yeah, and then Ari and I and JB filmed a music video for the song. And
okay.
Yeah, so that should be coming out pretty soon.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love, like you were saying earlier, I love when people are so much nicer than you would expect them to be.
What I've noticed, like, Ari is so sweet and kind. Like, I will defend, people can say he's a dick or whatever. I will defend him. He is so sweet and kind and compassionate, even though he's one of the more harsher comics. He's a good-hearted guy. I know for a fact.
Yeah, you can tell. And like I was saying with Lisa and Kathleen, he also does that same type of thing where he tries to lift up, the comedians that don't really have the platform.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He really does.
So back to Papa Willie.
Okay.
Is there like a fun fact, like a surprising thing? I know, he's all over the internet, so God knows everyone knows everything. But is there like a little inside, Papa Willie thing you think that it's not everyone knows?
It's a lot of fun when I don't think this is super surprising because I think this is the same with everybody, but it's always a little more fun when he's having a glass of wine. It's just a little more fun, like old family stories come out that don't come out when there's not a glass of wine there. And he never has one before the show. It's always after the show's done and he's riding on the bus to the next place, because they do that. They go to the next place and they're just there, get there in the middle of the night or whatever. So my Aunt Bobby, his sister, plays piano for him and has for years, 30, 40 years. And she and him, if they start drinking wine after the show, they will get into old family stories. And it's so good. So funny and so good. And I'm very grateful that I've been in those situations. It's only been a handful of times that I've been in those situations where I could hear those old family stories.
That's why I love the big get-togethers. I mean, I'm 31, and still this year, like my cousin, who's a couple years older than me, learned something about her parents, that she didn't know before, and it's just I love that. I love that we can be this old and still learn something new about our family with those big get-togethers.
Yeah, as long as wine's involved.
yeah, for sure.
Or alcohol.
So actually, TJ had sent me some private message questions that I'll read.
I have another fun Papa Willie fact. Let me tell you this before I answer his question.
Yeah.
He likes to, even when he's at home, he likes to hang out on his bus. So I don't think his bus isn't in Hawaii, but if he's in Texas at home, he's still usually just hanging out on his bus. Isn't that a trip?
I did hear you say that, and I just get the image of, like almost like in Meet the Parents when the big RV's just in the driveway.
Yeah.
You see him with his feet up,
Yeah, there's just like 2 or 3 buses, because one of them's the crew buses, and his bus down at the bottom of the hill, and then his house is, up at the top. So he'll just drive his truck down to the bus and get on his bus and hang out there. And whenever he's ready, he'll just drive his truck back up the hill.
Whole block stinks like corn oil.
It's like, yeah. And horses. There's lots of horses on the ranch. In a western town, it's really cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was a movie set that was like 40 years ago, and they put up, and so it's just empty, hollow things, but he liked it so much, he kept it up there and made the like the General Saloon, made it his world headquarters. So that's the only kind of real room-ish thing.
That's really cool.
It's really cool. My boys got to play cowboys and Indians in the western town when they were kids. It's cool. Yeah, neat.
That's a great story to share with your friends.
Yeah.
Share with your friends that you don't have because you're homeschooled.
Yeah, well, they do have friends. Come on. They have friends.
So TJ wants to know if the rumor that Willie and Waylon Jennings wrote the song Looking Back Texas in their kitchen in 10 minutes and sent it to record companies to pay their light bill is true.
I don't know. Let me text my grandpa and ask him. I don't know if he'll respond quickly, but we'll try.
Okay.
Hold on. Did you write Looking Back? I thought Raelyn wrote that one. Did they both do it together?
We're about to find out, I feel like. As long as Papa Willie's up at midnight.
Oh, he's up for sure. Did you write Looking Back with Raelyn to pay the light bill?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yep. You know, that light bill, it's always just hanging above your head.
I see what you did there. It's always hanging above your head. Is the rumor that you wrote Looking Back with Raelyn to pay the light bill true?
Yes.
Love you. Okay.
I love it. I love that I started this silly ass podcast and now I'm here talking to Raelyn Nelson. It's unbelievable. All right.
Well, I'm not Willie Nelson. I'm just Raelyn. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, well, I did say Raelyn, but I don't enunciate.
I know you did. I just was saying I'm not as cool as my grandpa, but thank you. Okay, what's the next question?
Well, I skipped a few because we've gone over a couple. So this last one is, have you ever met Roger Krager?
No.
Well, there you go. Okay. Sorry, Teach. Don't read the questions.
Who's Roger Krager?
I guess a country artist. TJ says, that's so fun.
Ask him.
I'm on cloud 9 right now, so thank you for texting right
there. Oh, it's spelled with a C. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Roger Krager, American singer-songwriter, American Texas country music singer. Okay. So he's a Texas guy. He's a Texas country guy, not Nashville, and I'm in Nashville. So, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. I could have still met him, but I didn't. Does he like him? Does Teach like him?
He must be a big fan.
He's no Taylor.
Yeah. He's not the white Whitney Houston.
Yeah. Like Dolly.
So, the song "She's Not For You," that ring a bell? From Willie?
She's Not For You. No, God, he's done so many songs. What the hell?
Research, yes. Okay. Well, we'll go back to that one then.
Oh, it's on that one. Shotgun. It's on Shotgun Willie. It's a great album cover.
It is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She's Not For You. I remember this. I remember the melody of this one.
I just didn't know if you knew the story behind that, if there was a particular lady on his mind.
I mean, it's probably my grandma, right? No, I don't know.
There's this one line where he's like, it's almost like he's talking to another guy. And he's like, you know, she's not for you. She'll only make you blue, and I'm used to it. So just leave her be, you know, leave her with me, something like that. So I just didn't know if you knew the story.
I don't know the story, but I don't know. At that time, he would have been dating Connie, I think.
Okay.
My third grandma, my step grandma, the third wife.
So you got your sound effect as the Pizitsky effect. That's pretty awesome. I'm sure you're proud of that.
Yeah, she's not using it very often though.
What a bitch.
Now I want to read these lyrics. Okay, she just looks for greener pastures now and then, and when she grows tired, she knows Old Faithful will just take her back again. So just leave her here. I'm used to feeling blue. She's not for you. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Sounds like someone who's really got a hold of his heartstrings, but
she's not for you.
I remember this. Yeah. Sounds like one of those relationships where she doesn't lift him up, but he can't let her go.
It honestly just sounds like a country song. Like to me, I bet they were sitting around in Nashville doing songwriter night, and they were all like, "That bitch," you know, and it's like it just came out. Maybe. I don't know.
So we don't have to go, you know, too deep in any of this stuff. I just think it's funny that what do you think your husband likes about his new wife? I thought that was really funny.
Well, he likes that she doesn't play music and so she doesn't want to be famous. But I sent her my 5 minutes when I did it, and she just raved about it. She's really fucking cool.
I hear she has big butt
Big
and
tits,
big boobs,
big ass,
big UT fan.
huge UT fan. Yeah, they're both big football fans.
And that's the University of Tennessee, because I know T just listening like, oh, fuck Texas. No, it's not Texas.
No.
University of Tennessee.
Not Longhorn, Texas.
Yeah.
It's the Volunteers in Tennessee. Similar oranges, but a little different.
But it sounds like co-parenting is going well.
Yeah, still going well.
Good.
She's the best. And then, of course, my baby daddy, he's awesome too. And we just try to do the best we can, you know. We barely talk unless we have to. I talk to her a little more over text, and then, you know, I mean, if there's any issue, we just talk about it. We haven't fought in a really long time, which is really nice. It's just gotten a lot. As you get older, it's easier to not fight about things, I think.
Yeah, it all seems trivial and silly.
Yep. And the kids are happy, so the kids are the most important thing. And as long as you keep that in mind, then. And it wasn't easy in the beginning, by the way. Like it wasn't easy to be nice to each other in the beginning of the separation and divorce. That definitely developed over time. But now we can have I know he's got my back and he knows I have his, you know?
Yeah.
If something went down in the world, we would all probably hunker down in one area together because of the kids, you know, even with her there.
Do you feel like he'll be jealous when you get serious about someone again?
No. I mean, I dated a guy a couple of years ago for about a year, and it wasn't weird, you know? He was already married to Hannah and everything. Or no, he wasn't married to her, but he was already with Hannah.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Good.
In fact, I think he would have my back if I needed him, you know? Still, as a friend, and family. My family still treats him as family. I mean, his family don't treat me as family, but it's okay. I don't need that. But my family treats him as family, you know? So we still all consider us a big family, even though Dad has his house and I have my house and we're not married anymore.
Yeah. Well, because my wife, she was adopted and she never really knew her dad. And I mean, obviously you knew your dad, but we're cut short of that at a very young age. Do you feel like growing up without the male figure in your life affected your relationship with your baby's daddy?
Yeah, don't you think? Don't you
Have
think?
to, right? Just like knowing what to
to.
look for and all that sorts of things.
Yes. Yep. And I think that how would that have affected it? I think there was a lot of codependency when I was 18 and wanting to be with someone, you know, and then I realized, oh wait, I want to be independent, not codependent here.
Is there, I mean, because a lot of times women will seek out guys who have similar traits of their dad. Do you feel like that's what happened, or no, opposite?
No, not at all. Oh my God. No. But I know my dad hated starfuckers. Does that make sense? And Scott did too. My baby dad, Scott did as well. He hated anybody who just wanted to be around people because they were famous. Couldn't stand it. And I know my dad was the same way.
So you guys got together pretty young, right?
Yeah, like I was 18 when I met him, and we got married and I was 19.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good idea. I don't recommend that to anyone. Don't get married.
So here's what's also confusing to me is when you told the story to Ryan about your father, you said it was Christmas Eve that he had passed away?
It was Christmas Eve, but it was 3 a.m. in the morning. So it was, you know, the night of the 23rd, but the morning of the 24th that he technically died. And I didn't find out until Christmas Day.
Right. Well, the only reason that was confusing is because in Daddy's grave, obviously in the video you show his tombstone, it has the date on there, so I just wasn't sure if it was the 23rd or the 24th.
Is it the 24th? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was 3 a.m. on the 24th, so it was. I think I remember listening back to that, and I was like, I think I said that wrong. Because, because it was like 3 a.m. on December 24th.
guy who you said that you ran into and just all of a sudden was rambling on about the circumstances, did you ever find out who he was?
That guy, I did. He was like a deputy there in Ridgetop Police Department. The Ridgetop Police Department isn't even around anymore. They just kind of molded in because it's such a tiny town. They molded into the town next to it, Greenbrier.
Okay.
So Robert, it's like all of the Robertson County. So, but at the time there was a Ridgetop Police Department, and it was also very teeny tiny, like 5 of them. And he was one of the deputy people who kind of like worked in the jail, and he helped my dad get out of some DUIs and stuff. That's who that guy was. But I think he knew other things and told me this bullshit story.
Yeah, if you don't mind, if you don't want to, it's fine. But what is the story from your understanding
of what happened, or what he told me what happened?
Either or, if you want to tell both, or if you don't, like what happened and what he.
I mean, honestly, none of us know what happened. We were told that he was found naked and hung. Yeah. Until he had hung himself, and he was completely naked. So, and I've also been told that they try to do that in those situations so that the police won't even investigate. If it looks like it's humiliating or embarrassing to the family, they'll just clean up and get the body out. So when bad people who are murdering people, when they caught wind of that, they would just do that so nothing would be investigated.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. Yeah.
So I think that he was running around with people who wanted him to tell on other people, and he was maybe just said he wouldn't do it, or, who knows? I know that there was a lot of money there at the time because my grandpa sent money for Christmas his way, so there was a lot of cash. There was a party scene. It looked like more than just him was there, it wasn't just him that was there that night. There were other people there.
Yeah.
But that guy said that he was doing laundry at 3:00 in the morning and which isn't possible. He definitely was not doing laundry at 3:00 in the morning. And I can see him drinking, and hanging out. But I never, who wants to do laundry when they're drinking that late at night? If at that point you're too wasted, you're not doing laundry. It said he was washing his socks and hanging them up and had a noose tied around his neck. I mean, it's so dumb. It's so dumb that he just had a noose tied around his neck, and then he climbed up on the lock to hang him and then fell, and the noose caught. It doesn't make any sense.
Sounds like a guilty conscience, like someone who knows something,
Yeah,
like
that's what I thought too. Even at 18 years old, I thought that, and called my mom immediately. My mom was like, that sounds really weird and fishy. That doesn't sound right. And then that guy offered me his condo downtown for a party that we were doing. And I took it. We did it. Like, my friends and I went down there and used the condo. And I thought that was weird. I thought maybe he felt a little guilty and he was giving me this fancy condo for the weekend,
Yeah.
But I haven't talked to him. Oh, shit. I haven't talked to him in a really long time. Can you still hear me? I haven't talked to him in a really long time. So he might be dead from COVID.
It's very possible.
It's possible.
In the song Daddy's Grave, it's a very touching song. It's a very good song. I'm sure you don't love to perform it because it's probably not easy to do.
Yeah, I don't do it because it makes everyone sad.
Well, and to that effect, and the lyrics are, part of the lyrics are, you feel like your presence alone makes your grandfather sad and your mother kind of resentful because you remind her of a mistake. Mm-hmm. Do you still carry that?
It's funny because songs have a way of being therapy. So when my mom heard the song, it definitely made a conversation happen.
Yeah.
And me be able to say, yeah, when you said that you were never supposed to marry my dad and have me, and you were just supposed to be with my stepdad, you're saying I'm not supposed to be here. And she would not budge from she wasn't supposed to marry my dad. Like, for some reason, she just couldn't say, no, this was supposed to happen. But she just wouldn't say it. I don't know why, but she would be like, but I love you and I'm so glad I have you. Like, she said the right things, but it was still no, I was never supposed to marry him and have you. I was supposed to marry your stepdad, marry Don and be with him. And I'm like, you understand that you're telling me that I'm not supposed to be here. You
Right.
realize when you're saying that. And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you are. Because if you didn't do that, then I wouldn't have been here. So, yeah, you are. And it was then after I wrote the song, it brought the conversation up. And she's like, oh, shit, now everybody's going to think that I,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. But it's like, yeah, that's how you made me feel. You made me feel like I was a mistake. And my dad's a mistake, and you were never supposed to do that. You just got to be careful about what you say to people.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're good now. My mom and I are tight, and we tease each other about our silly quirks and how much she loves Jesus. It's gonna hit someone on the side of the flip flop or whatever.
Dude, I mean, aside from so on Honeydew, obviously when you told Ryan that your worst fear was his love, I mean, everyone in the comments was like, "Oh my god, she's so funny." That was my favorite
I
part.
can't believe I said that.
God, he died laughing. He died. I love his laugh.
I love it too.
And you killed him with that one. But yeah, you guys talking about your dad and God, I just love when you told him that. But also, oh yeah, the other thing was when you said that your mom was a holy roller, but she made it a point to tell you earlier that Santa wasn't real.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, so I believe in this fake stuff, but not in this other fake stuff.
Hey, this imagine what do you say? This thing that's part of imagine. What did you say? It was so good. This figment of my imagination is telling me to tell you that this other thing is not real or whatever. It was so good. It was so good.
That was so good. Goddamn.
That was so much fun. And when I first got on the phone with him, I was trying to make him laugh because I wanted to hear the laugh in real time. I'd only heard it on podcasts. And it's just like that. Do you have his ringtone?
I heard it's yours. Which is awesome. Who has the better laugh between him and Burnt Chrysler?
Oh man, Bert's makes me laugh too because his are just like. Have you watched the Kool-Aid clip of Two Bears in a while?
I must have. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
JB and I just watched it again. We were in Pittsburgh. We watched it twice in a row. Like it was so funny. We watched it twice, and hearing Tom's laugh. Tom never laughs like that, and he was It's so good. I might have to watch it when we get off. It was so good.
Yeah, me too. That was legit. Like he was laughing so hard. He went like, he like caught himself.
And then in the beginning of it, see if you notice it. When Bert first says Kool-Aid, you see Tom go, and then Bert starts talking. He goes, Kool-Aid, but like because Bert's like, let me take a drink of Kool-Aid. And you can see Tom like look up to like what Kool-Aid.
He's like, yeah, I drink a gallon of this a day.
He drinks 2 or 3 of those. Remember? That big thing.
God.
Oh my God.
Let's see. I have a thing about. So Lisa Lampanelli went to Syracuse, which I think is awesome because that's right near my hometown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's so sweet in real life. I put that down. Yeah, that's the thing about not being a hypocrite. Oh, she said, which I thought was really surprising, that comedy is the worst profession for reflection because comedians are like so self-centered. And I just think, man, comedy, like stand-up comedy is a reflection of society. Like that's what we're all talking about. So I just thought that was interesting that she said that.
I also think it's kind of similar to what I was telling you about how you see something as a pen and the cow sees it as a food.
Yeah.
A good comic is going to show you how to see it different, in a different way and make it funny. Yeah. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like it brings up taboo things. It brings up hot topics. It brings up, stuff we don't, it's still the same thing as taboo, but like you said, fat shaming and trans and all this, it makes fun of all of us dealing with this. So you're looking at things in a new way. I think it's the best reflection actually, you know?
It's actually kind of
all
cool
of
that
us.
you and Dave Chappelle got canceled for literally the same thing.
Yeah, we did. We're on the same level, me and Chappelle.
I think this is the last downer thing before we get into really cool stuff. And
Okay.
then, for God's sakes, I've kept you for quite a while. The house fire in 2016.
Oh yeah.
You lost your favorite pair of jeans. Do you feel like you're recovered from the fire?
Yeah, it's funny.
Spiritually,
It comes up all
physically?
the time. Yeah, even today, somebody brought up my dad's old wooden bat, and I'm like, I haven't had that since the fire. You know, it just comes up all the time. We lost everything. I still can't go to sleep without watching something on a show, or my brain will. Like I watch a podcast at night going to sleep because my brain will go back to that night and start thinking of every scenario that could have happened that isn't that we're okay, you know? So
It was something with a lamp, right? Is how it started?
I think my
Yeah,
daughter ran past the dresser and the lamp fell over and set the towel on fire.
gotcha.
Very quickly happened. I just told you we had a storm last night. I slept right through that motherfucker. Just right through it. It was a huge tornado or I don't know if it was a tornado, but the tornado sirens were on. A tree fell down right behind me in the woods, and I didn't hear any of it. So I'm telling you, it's so strange that I woke up to just the sound of crackling fire, you
Yeah.
know? So it's a really, I think of that all the time, and it just like freaks me out. Like, thank you, whoever woke me up, thank you. But it's like, you slept through a loud train sound of a storm out, you know, how did I wake up? So then I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to wake up if something happens, you know? So it's just like trauma, a little trauma there that hangs out, and it just hangs out right before bedtime when I'm going to sleep, you know?
Yeah. God, I suck at transition
No, you're
like
doing great.
words. I'm always like, anyway. My next question is also apparently what TJ wants to know. Do you like today's country music? Is anything that you like?
Yeah. Is there anything I like? I like if I still go back to if you can create something out of nothing, then somebody's gonna love it and appreciate it. Do I love new country? Not much. I don't like the bro country thing. I just don't. um,
My wife likes Kane Brown. You like Kane
yeah,
Brown?
I like Kane Brown. I don't. I think I like. What's the word? I just don't want it to be poppy. You know,
Yeah,
I want my pop to be pop and my country to be country.
yeah. Like
But
Sturgill's a great example, right?
Sturgill's great. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, New people. I like Tennille Arts, but I also think she's a little poppy. I love Casey Musgraves, and I love Taylor, of course, but she's all gone pop now. She's not country at all. But at least she did that. You know, that's what I mean. Like she was like, I want to make this music now. I'm not going to say I'm a country star anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
There is one artist in particular that comes to mind. I never would have expected to like her stuff, but Miranda Lambert. I really like Gunpowder and Lead, and I
I love
like
Miranda.
the House That Built Me. Those are good songs.
That's a good one. Yeah. New Strings is good. Miranda. Locomotive is one of the newer ones. It's a rocking song. It was like B. It was like side B of whatever the album or the single she put out a couple of years ago. And I listened to Locomotive. I'm like, holy shit, she's rocking the fuck out on this song. No wonder they put it on the B side. But it's so good. I love that song. And Mama's Broken Heart. Yeah, Miranda's probably my favorite of the country.
She's cool. Did Garth? Okay, I like a lot of Garth Brooks songs. Let me clear that out of the way. Did Garth Brooks kill country music?
I think he killed the bodies and he buried the bodies. Right? He buried the
I
bodies.
mean, that's right. Do you think like right around his ascension was right around the time the twang went away? Like, is that a correct?
It's funny because that sounds more country now than what they're doing, but people
Right.
were saying that then. You
For
know,
sure.
people were like, he's not Willie Nelson. He's not doing Johnny Cash and Waylon.
Yeah, and
But
these new people make rodeo sound like,
right,
the anthem,
like yeah. And so yeah, But now he sounds super country. I love 90s country. And at the time, people were saying that wasn't cool country. Garth Brooks, go country music, and all the bodies that he's got buried in his yard.
So you were Chris Gaines for Halloween, right?
Yep. Do you follow the Tom Segura thing with Garth Brooks?
I did, and I freaking really enjoyed it. And it's so weird
Do you
how
watch
weird
his Instagram? On Garth's Instagram, it's all the mommies and the jeans, posting, where'd you hide the bodies? Where'd you bury the body? Yeah. And all like, I got a DUI, baby. Aye. All the, let's follow Proto. All the, I don't know what you call them. All the little mommyisms.
Oh, the poor G-spot.
Yeah.
It is crazy how, like, what that level of fame can just make you forget how to be a person.
Mm-hmm. And then the documentary that came out on him in 2019, every single question they asked him, he starts crying.
Yeah. It's like, well, my dad.
Yep. Everything made him cry. It was very strange.
And what's with that remote location where it's like,
the bodies are
a ranch house. It's like where you would stop if someone took you on like a horseback riding trip, and then let's just stop here so the horses can piss and then keep going.
Yeah.
So weird. Okay, this one I actually really like because my wife's a huge fan, and I want you to ruin it completely.
Okay.
Chris Stapleton is a fraud. Yes, from what I understand.
Oh man.
He just grew a beard, and all of a sudden he's Chris Stapleton. Is that what happened?
I'm not 100% sure, but I would lean toward that.
So my guess is he was actually like pretty well received in the Nashville area, but never could break that like ceiling because he looked too baby face-ish.
You have to have that beard because that's definitely a thing, like the Jamie Johnson beard thing. You had. I don't know why, but you did. You had to have that.
So do you feel like, I mean, what are your thoughts on him as an artist, though? Like, do you feel like he actually sings
his he's
truth?
Great. Great songs. Yeah, great voice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's not one I go to listen to. I thought it was cool he did that thing with Justin Timberlake, but you know how we talked about Justin. Justin can do no wrong in my book, so.
You don't just throw on Tennessee whiskey anytime you want to just vibe?
No, I don't.
Okay, TJ, really quick, apparently wants to know what's your thoughts on David Allan Coe.
David Allan Coe. He's cool. He's got great, he's a funny dude. He's got funny songs too. Do you ever listen to any of his funny stuff?
Yeah, some of it's more problematic than funny, but either way.
Yeah. He's cool. He's played my grandpa's picnics every year that we had, so I was hanging out around him. He was fine. Okay. Yeah, he's good. Cool guy. I remember being mad that he covered one of the songs that we were going to cover, so we had to switch it up at the last minute, but you know, what do you do? That happens.
So I don't know if this is a result of my daughter being born, but I'm like a lot more emotional lately than I have been.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, probably is.
Or actually, there's the moon's in Sagittarius right now, and that might be it.
Well, I don't know. So here's what gets me. Whenever I watch like American Idol or The Voice, and I see someone like pouring their soul into this one moment where they can either make it or break it.
Please don't tell me you start crying. No.
That stuff doesn't get you?
No.
Is it too staged? Am I totally missing the whole thing?
No, it's cute. It's just probably just because I don't know why you do that. I don't know. Do you sing?
You can't picture yourself in that moment, like trying to get everyone to just like, this is it.
I wouldn't be crying and doing that. No, I would be like, but that's not my vibe. My vibe is happy, fun, let's party.
Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Or do you sing?
I don't sing, but like I've done one open mic karaoke, and I can just pick just from that experience and just from doing the stand-up. Did you start
crying?
No.
Wait, you just said you did karaoke, and you're relating that to American Idol.
Here's what I'm saying. from my karaoke experience and from the stand-up open mic experiences, I know what it's like to be in front of people who you really, really, really want to pass yourself off as being competent in what you're doing.
Correct. Yeah.
So the idea of failing in that moment or gloriously flying like a phoenix throughout the atoll arena gets me. It tugs on my tears.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Okay.
What if they fuck up? Do you cry?
That too. I mean, you know.
Are you gonna cry? No, you would probably laugh. Like, and the emotional moment's done if they suck. It's only if they're good.
I'm still a comedian at heart, so you gotta laugh.
Yeah, you gotta laugh if they fuck up. But then you wouldn't feel that emotional feeling anymore, right?
Well, that is emotion. That's a self-defense mechanism, and that's why we're comedians. We turn all emotion into laughter.
Okay. Yeah, but I feel like we did that for survival.
Yeah. That's another thing when Lisa said that like we're all, comedians are starving for the next laugh. Norm Macdonald, who RIP, really hit me this past year when he passed away. I mean, that was the first celebrity who passed that I was like, oh man, really?
I know.
So, but the thing I loved about him was he would bathe in silence. He would just sit there and smile and think about what everyone else is thinking. And I just love that he fed off that. But I love that about his comedy.
And his quote that he said that if you, that being funny is about the element of surprise, of doing something that nobody was expecting you to do and they laugh. So if you go to be funny and it's not funny, that's funny because it's not what anyone, it's not what you expected. You expected to be funny. So the fact that you weren't, that's funny. I loved it. I love his quote.
That it just makes it so much easier to do these fucking open mics. Just knowing that even if I bomb, like that's funny. I can tell my friends later that I bombed, and that's funny.
And that's why it's a great story. You don't have good stories about the times that were great and everything went perfectly smooth. All the good stories are when things go awry. Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, we've come to this one. I really wanted to get your perspective. I can't wait to talk to you about this.
Okay.
Steve Cantwell.
Oh, I love Steve Cantwell.
His salvia trip.
Yeah.
So I've done salvia, and
You
I related.
did?
Yes, I related to like it's the only time I've ever done a drug, and I actually hallucinated.
Yeah.
So I got that part of it.
What did you see?
What did I see?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, similar to him, I thought that it was going to be weed-ish, so I could drive. So I was driving, and I'm hitting it as I'm driving, and all of a sudden, everything around me turns into Toontown from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and the trees are like bouncing and dancing, and the birds are singing, and the sun has a face. It was crazy. So knowing
Did you
my
pull
experience,
over?
yeah. Oh yeah, thank God. So knowing my experience,
how long did that last?
Probably just a couple minutes.
What do you remember? That's all you remember from it?
Yeah. There was a few more experiences, but different from that one. I'd done it afterwards too.
But so you never felt like you were anywhere for 8 years?
No, so that's what gets me. So I think that because he had never done drugs, and because his first rip was a bong rip, dude, get out of here. That's of course. Like once he was describing, I'm like, holy shit, I cannot wait to hear what happened next because there's no way it's not crazy. So to hear he lived 8 full years in this dream hallucination that really ended up being 45 seconds. I hate to spoil the end for you if you wanted to tell it, but my God, I mean,
we can't ruin this for you. Go watch the story. Go. Yeah, if you're listening to this, we can't ruin the story for you. There's so much more involved in it. It's crazy.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, I hope you don't mind if I step on toes here, but this Mormon I don't know if he was a full-time preacher, but sometimes preacher, had never done drugs before, was trying to impress one of his buddies on Christmas, so they're alone. Thought he had basically fake weed, like spice, like we would know it as,
Yeah.
synthetic marijuana, ended up actually being salvia, a very powerful hallucinogenic. So this is his first experience on drugs ever. No coffee, no alcohol, no cigarettes, no nothing. His
No
first time doing drugs.
caffeine. No
Yeah,
caffeine. Yeah.
his first time doing drugs is a bong rip of salvia, and he just goes to. It's not even a hallucinogen.
Tyler, Texas.
He goes to Tyler, Texas, and that's what's crazy about it. There's nothing fantastical about what happened. He lived a normal life in Tyler, Texas, working on an apple orchard, knowing everyone there. Like, he didn't have his wife, but he had a family who had died in a car crash. He had
Yeah.
yearbooks with his pictures
I
in
get
it.
goosebumps with you talking about it again. It's
Like,
I think
yeah,
I did some research on salvia, and salvia is used by shamans to break religious trauma. So I think that's what he was doing. I think that's what was happening with
okay,
him to break that Mormon religious trauma that he was dealing with
yeah.
or
But
was doing, and he had no idea,
it just made me question, like, maybe there is another dimension. What are our dreams really? Because that could have easily been a dream, but he needed drugs to get there, and it lasted 8 years in the dream. But
Mm-hmm.
there's just so much complexity to it, and our brains as a chemistry set is just unreal. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, TJ's going to bed too. Night, TJ. See you, bud. Love you.
I'm gonna have to get going soon too.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I think that salvia trip is. I don't know if I'd ever do it though, but I've definitely done weed and a lot of alcohol and a lot of caffeine, so I don't think I would do a Tyler, Texas thing. But I've never done anything that's made me hallucinate anything.
Yeah.
So
Salvia was crazy. Yeah, my cousin turned to stone one time. It was nuts. But
he turned 2 stone.
yeah, like it was almost like it was like I was Medusa and he looked into my eyes, that type of thing.
How long did it last?
Same thing, just a couple minutes. Yeah, salvia is one of those like cocaine, like a temporary, thing.
I don't know if I would do it.
You should.
Not after the Cantwell story.
You should.
But I don't want to be anywhere for 8 years.
Yeah, hopefully you won't be. I doubt you will be. So let's wrap it up with some fun. I've got a little game. How about Fuck, Marry, Kill? You familiar with this game?
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So let's start off. I believe this man was 2017 Sexiest Man of the Year. We'll go Blake Shelton, Trace Adkins, George Strait. Fuck, marry, kill.
I'm going George Strait to marry because he had so many #1 hits. That sounds stable.
Okay. We got some fucking and some killing to do.
Who are the other questions? I know it's Blake Shelton. Who was the second one? Trace Adkins?
Yep. Mr.
Yeah. Let's kill that guy. And then, I guess I have to fuck Blake Shelton.
Damn. Okay. Eat your heart out, Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
Next group, Eminem, MGK, and Post Malone.
Okay. I'm going to marry Eminem.
Okay.
I'll fuck MGK and I'll whoever to Post Malone. Kill him.
Okay. Get this up. I grabbed this earlier. Yeah,
cool.
No next group, a few guests of yours and one non-guest. Mark Norman, Josh Wolf, Pete Davidson. The stud of all studs, the Saturday Night Live stud.
Let's kill Pete Davidson. I can't fuck Josh Wolf because I'm friends with his wife, so I guess we'll both be married to him.
Nice, okay.
So who am I fucking? Oh, I'll fuck Mark Norman.
Comedy.
Yeah, comedy.
Little gay. All right. Last batch.
Little gay. You kind of sounded like him when you said that. Good job.
It's hard to listen to all these guys and then not like bring that into your
the inflection. Yeah.
Ryan Sickler.
Okay.
Tom Segura.
Okay.
Bert Kreischer.
I don't want any of them to die. Okay.
Come on, just kill Bert.
it's hard to choose to marry. I guess I'll marry Ryan because it would be fun to marry him because he's just a fun person. But it would make sense if we're going for stability, I should marry Tom because he's got more money.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So it's tough to figure out those. I'm gonna fuck or marry Tom or Ryan. They're such good friends. I feel like it'd be fine.
Yeah, just do 3-way and
I don't want to kill Bert, but I guess I have to.
fuck off, Bert. All right, so that was fuck, marry, kill, and the last thing, I swear to God, last thing. I'm so sorry to keep you all.
Well, I'm gonna ask you a fuck, marry, kill before we're getting off this, but go ahead.
Okay.
You
no,
first.
hit me.
Nikki Glazer, Sarah Silverman, and Annie Letterman. Or Lederman, whatever you say.
Oh, man, I feel bad. Well, she's been on Kill
Okay,
Tony.
you feel bad, don't you?
I feel bad because I like most of the people who've been on Kill Tony, and I think Letterman has. Or Lederman.
I think so. I think she has.
So now I feel bad saying I'd kill her because I probably wouldn't. Not.
Well, yeah,
okay.
I had to kill Bert.
I know. I'll kill Sarah. I used to like Sarah. Sarah's up and down. I'll probably fuck Nikki and marry Amy.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Yeah.
So this last bit should be a lot of fun. I actually got this from the internet.
Okay.
I have 3 Willie Nelson trivia questions.
Okay.
And I got this off of usefultrivia.com.
Okay.
First question. No pressure as Willie Nelson's granddaughter.
I hope. No. Oh, no. Okay. Here we go.
And if you want multiple choice.
What is the name of his granddaughter? That'd be funny.
Who bought Willie his first guitar?
His grandfather.
Yes. This says when he was 6.
Oh my God! His grandfather bought him his first guitar. My grandfather bought me mine.
The Nelson family, I'm telling you. On the Road Again was written on
a plane.
A hamburger wrapper.
Oh, napkin.
You're going with napkin?
Is that was one of the things? You said hamburger wrapper? Give me the other one.
Toilet paper. No. Barf bag.
The barf bag on an airplane. Yeah, because it was on the airplane. I knew it.
Damn, you're good. All right. See, so you got there before I even knew what the fuck you were talking about. There we go. So this last one might be a tougher one. In which discipline does Willie hold a black belt? Taekwondo, Muay Thai, or Gangkwan Yasu?
Taekwondo.
It's actually Gangkwan Yasu.
You made that shit up. That's not even a thing.
I guess it's a Korean martial art that he's done for since 2014.
Yeah, and he is really good, but he's just, I don't think he's called it that. I think he just called it karate or taekwondo. And I remember him doing a movie for his sensei, the sensei guy. He was producing a movie. This was 2010 or something. And we're all watching this movie. And at one point, Papa Willie looks at him and he goes, "This movie's terrible." And everybody just started laughing. But it was definitely not a great movie. But Papa Willie was in it for him. This movie's not that great, or something like that. I don't know if he said terrible. He's just like, this isn't a great movie.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Raelyn, Ms. Nelson, because I'm so awkward with my formalities, so please let me know if I need to call you Ms. Nelson from now on.
Raelyn. Please call me Raelyn.
Raelyn of the Raelyn Nelson Band and Music is Funny podcast. Thank you so much. You've been super generous with your time. You've been an absolute treat to talk to. I really hope
let's do it again sometime.
Yes.
And if you should come on mine. If you are a stand-up and you don't stand up, we should have you on ours.
Okay. Sure.
If you're into it. No?
Yes, that's a great opportunity. I would hate to underwhelm, but yes, I appreciate it.
Okay, cool. Well, let's make that happen. I'm gonna email that to myself right now. So, all right, I'll just email you.
Perfect.
Let's Zoom next week for podcast. Cool. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Thomas McCormick, who is your booking agent and getting this all together. Really appreciate that.
Tom.
Shout out to Pepper. I really discovered you through those guys. So
yeah, Pepper and Thomas are awesome. I hope they come back and do Rushmore again.
yes, I agree. Listen, have a good night. Sorry. Thank you.
No, you're good. You don't have to say you're sorry. You're good. My computer is dying like right now though. So we got
I believe it. Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.